Uh, it is Friday, and thank you very much for jumping aboard with us here on this Friday. We appreciate everybody. Thank you so much. Do me a favor. Please hit the like button. Supers go right to the top of the program. Hopefully everybody's having a great Friday. Absolutely sensational that we are just a week away. How about this? We're a day away from the Chargers opening camp tomorrow. The NFL's training camps open tomorrow officially. And in 3 weeks, we're going to have a NFL football game at the Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. It's crazy. Crazy to think we're here. I mean, dude, I remember JAKIB on the Victory Tour when we were celebrating the championship of the Philadelphia Eagles. This is absolutely insane. How fast this offseason has just come and gone here, man. I mean, you know, somebody asked me from the NFL Network a couple days ago, they go, Sills, how good do you think the Philadelphia Eagles have had when it came to their offseason? And I told them, business-wise, A+. And they go, well, you've been pretty critical of the players that they've lost. I said, yeah, but they do business different than you. The Eagles do business different than 99.9% of the other teams in the league. And here's why. They're going to stay competitive each and every single year trying to win a Super Bowl. But at the other end, they're also going to ensure their future, something the Cowboys can't do. The Cowboys can't ensure their future. Because you know why? They're so centric on trying to acquire great players and count money and wait to do player contracts. Look what they've done the last couple of years when it came to player contracts, the Cowboys. Put that in contrast with the Eagles. Okay? Put this into contrast. They wait until the last second to do CeeDee Lamb, and they wait until the last second to do Dak Prescott. They're going to do the very same thing here with Michael Parsons and think that's what people want to hear. But how about, does that help you win? It doesn't. It does not help you win. The Cowboys are not in the win. They're not in the winning business anymore. They're in the visibility interest. I wonder, ask yourself this. Jerry Jones has 3 Super Bowl rings, right? Next week, we're going to get Stephen Jones on the program. We're going to get Stephen Jones, the CFO of the Dallas Cowboys. He's a friend of ours. You know that. He's been on the program 4 or 5 times. And I'm going to ask him, I mean, you know, what is the significant move that you've done this offseason to ensure that you're going to be competitive in the NFC to chase down the Eagles? What's that move? Getting Dak back? George Pickens? That's not good enough to chase down the Philly. You know, I took the Eagles out of the equation. Do me a favor, guys, before we get going here. Don't rank the top 5 teams in the NFC using Philly. Rank me the top 5 teams in the NFC, excluding Philadelphia. Who would you put in that conversation? Who would you put there? Rams? Who else? Bucks? Who else? Rams, Bucks. Who else? Washington, the Commanders. Who else? The Lions. And who would be the 5th team? Not using the Eagles in that room. Rams, Vikings, okay. I'm with that. Okay. Some of you guys, Vikings, Green Bay, okay. Put Green Bay in there instead of the Vikings because of the quarterback. All right. Guys, let me ask you this. Is that a daunting list of teams? Rams, Bucks, Commanders, Lions, Green Bay. What in the world have those teams done this offseason to make you think that they've caught the Philadelphia Eagles, even with the amount of exits that they've had on their roster this year? What in the world makes you think they've done enough to really give Philadelphia a run for their money, even with all the losses on defense? We're in the room. I mean, that's not a daunting group of teams. So if you're Howie, you're going, this is the year for us to take a step back. And how about this? Create more questions for our roster and our starting positions. Correct? That's what they're looking at, and that's how the business of the Philadelphia Eagles, the Cowboys are no, get this. The Cowboys have given $36 million to CD, $60 million to the quarterback, and they're going to give this year $40 million to Micah Parsons, and they've gotten no closer to the Eagles, even with the Eagles losing 5 starters from the Super Bowl roster. Think about what I just said. The Dallas Cowboys have not gotten closer to the Philadelphia Eagles, even with the 5 players they lost on the roster. Those guys all started in the Super Bowl, and they're no closer. They're just not closer. Why? Because they don't ensure their future. Philadelphia looks at the present and they look at the future of the team. Hey, to Philadelphia, they want to win the Super Bowl this year. Okay, they want to win the Super Bowl. But if they don't, they know they're going to have a Super. Here's what, do you guys agree to this? Do you guys agree to this? Howie Roseman made it very clear after that 2017-18 season, after you won the Super Bowl, that he was never going to be in a position where the talent level of the football team diminished and the chances of a Super Bowl window staying open were going to close as quick as it did. Do you guys not agree that that 2017 Super Bowl that you had, there was no window for that team to win a Super Bowl? There was no window to win multiple Super Bowls, right? That was a one-shot deal with all the mercenaries that you had on the team and all the veteran free agents that you had on the team. Okay? I mean, Lamar, yes, he's been on 4 or 5 times. Yes, who the hell do you think we'd put on? Stephen Jones, the blogger? It's Stephen Jones, the owner. Yes. Look at this guy. You must be new to the room. Hey, dude, Lamar? Yes, that's Stephen Jones. He's been on already. Sorry, Lamar, I didn't know that you're new to the room. There was no Super Bowl window for that 2017 team. That's right. Hired guns do not give you a Super Bowl window. That's what you got going up in Chicago. Right? Not this team. I'll tell you what, man. Howie became a way better general manager. All good too, Lamar. All good, brother. Absolutely all good, man. Guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. Thank you for coming aboard this Friday. Okay? Supers go to the top here. I heard a great conversation today. By the way, I tell you what, I love conversational broadcasting where you just start talking about a topic. Instead of contrived, look, I love topics. And to me, that's what sports talk radio and sports broadcasting is about, is topics. John doesn't really like to have topics thrown at him. And that makes it a tougher job, but they get through it and do a good job because Xander forces them through, and it's good conversation. So here, let me say this to you and ask you flat out. And let's start with this, okay, and this premise. Why didn't Lamar Jackson win the regular season Most Valuable Player award last year? Why do you think? Why do you think that Lamar Jackson did not win the MVP? Guy had 4,100. He had 4,100 passing yards, 41 touchdowns, 5 picks, 8,500 rushing yards, or 850 rushing yards. Why do you think that Lamar Jackson did not win the most valuable player award? As a matter of fact, Chip, he's got 2, not 1. Here's Senor, because the media was fatigued on his 2 MVPs and felt sorry for JAKIB. Okay? Josh Allen played the best football of anybody from week 1 to week 17 of anybody in the league except for Barkley, in my opinion. Because they like Allen. No. Boy, I can't believe how we're not in the room here. Why didn't Lamar Jackson, with an iconic season a year ago, win the most valuable player award? Why do you think? Why do you think Lamar didn't? This is going to go into a conversation here in a second. Okay? Because the NFL voters stuck, period. Lamar should have won it. I actually think Lamar or Barkley should have won it over Josh. I know you guys think that I think Josh Allen should have won it. I think Lamar Jackson or Barkley should have won it. And if I had to pick a guy, I would have picked Barkley. But hey, here's why. Lamar Jackson didn't win the Super Bowl because he had Derrick Henry in the backfield. A 1,900-yard rusher. That's why that guy didn't win the MVP. And Allen did. There was nobody on Allen's team. He had a 1,900-yard, and if you count the postseason, he also went over 2,100 rushing yards. He was like 2,200 rushing yards. That's why he didn't win it also. He didn't win it because he had Derrick Henry in the backfield. Okay? Derrick Henry was in the backfield. So they had a conversation today. Here's something that I'll say to you that I'm pretty comfortable saying. Jalen Hurts will never win a most valuable player award as long as Saquon Barkley's on the field. Or I should say on the team. It's just not going to happen. Because it's going to dictate the style of play. And it's going to pollute the voters. Not that he may not play. Like, look at Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson had 4,100 passing yards, 850 rushing. This guy had 41 TD passes. He didn't win the MVP over a guy at 3,700 passing yards. Hurts has no shot at winning that MVP award. I heard Xander say he thinks he's going to have an MVP-type season. Never happened. Never happened. Not as long as Saquon Barkley's on the team. Why? Because style of play will dictate it. Style of play will dictate it. That's not a conversation we're having here. They're going to, plus, if they give Jalen Hurts shit now for having a good team, what kind of shit do you think they would give him with a guy who's a 2,000-yard rusher? He's never getting it. Not that that's important. Okay? Players want to have accolades along with the trophy. They want both. You should want both. Barkley showed you a year ago he wanted the 2105 record. He told you he wanted it. Saquon Barkley probably feels a little bit unfulfilled from last year because he knew he could have got 2105. Now, is he upset? I didn't get the record because they got the Super Bowl trophy? Absolutely not. That's not what I'm saying. Dude, you want them all. You want the accolades. You want the trophy. You want personal achievements. And get this. Hey, you can't say unfulfilled. I just heard Lane Johnson say he was very disappointed on not being named first team All-Pro. Okay, Lamar. So, Lamar, Lane Johnson just got through saying that he felt a little disappointed. No, he felt very disappointed that he didn't and wasn't named first team All-Pro. It contradicts what you're saying. Obviously, it was still a thing for him. Was it not? Those were his words, not mine. I didn't say that shit. That's correct, Charlie. Charlie, the reason with AJ's numbers being down, the missed games and all that, the 47th ranking in targets, the only thing that makes that thing feel better is the fact they won the Super Bowl. Stills, while I agree that Barkley does dictate the style, if the implement of the screen game to Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley work well, Hurts' passing yards will improve quickly. They're not going to ever implement a screen game. Bob, ask yourself this. It's 5 years. This player's not going to be anything more than he is, especially with Saquon Barkley being in the huddle. He'll never be anything more than what that is. And by the way, for the record, don't get twisted by it because it's resulting in a shitload of wins. But his numbers are not going to improve as long as Barkley's in the huddle. Folks, don't be offended by this. I hope you're not, because you're winning a shitload of games doing this. You're caught in the middle now. Damn, you're right, Sills. He's not going to get any better as long as Saquon is on the field and in the huddle, because style of play will dictate how they're going to approach teams. Look, guys, the NFL is not set up any longer to stop the run game. The NFL is set up to stop the passing game. And that's why they have a massive advantage. Check this out. What team in the NFL do you think has the best secondary in the NFL? Houston or Denver? Would you not say? Houston or Denver? Now, you also see with Alexander being added in Baltimore, they've got a pretty good secondary there, right? Denver, right? Houston, Baltimore, right? People spending a shitload of money at corner. Who's got the best D-line in football? Who's got the best D-line in football? Let's see. Maybe the Giants? The Rams? I saw the Rams get run on for over 250 yards by the Eagles during the regular season. Houston? I mean, okay. Can you name a player? With the Ravens, can you name a defensive lineman? Let me guess, the new guy you got from Marshall. And for the record, I could have swore I saw the Eagles run the shit out of the ball on Baltimore. Maybe the Chargers. Look at all these names. Folks, there ain't a great D-line in pro football today. There's just not. There's not a great D-line. Who's the best offensive line in football? Who's the best O-line in football? Philly. Going against teams that have, at best, good D-lines. versus subpar D lines. The advantage is Philly in every football. Here, I want to show you guys this. And where I'm going here, why, again, it's not important it's just not important for Hurts to have an MVP type season. He's never going to, as long as Barkley's on the team. Here's why. Philadelphia, 2025 schedule. Let me show you this. Here's your advantage. It's so incredibly right in front of you here. The National Football League is no longer built by linebackers and by defensive lines. Get this. The Dallas Cowboy D-line. What do you think the Dallas Cowboy D-line presents in that game against the Philadelphia Eagle O-line? If I were them, I seriously, I'd wear extra padding in that game because they're going to smash the shit out of you. There's no way that's going to be a competition. Look at this. Watch this. Let me show you this. I did this last night with a friend. Based off of O-line and D-line opponents you're going to play. Watch this. I'm not even basing it on anything else. Quarterback play, receivers, anything. Just O-line versus D-line. Let me show you this. Let me go L's and W here. Cowboys, you have the superiority in that Cowboy game. Bang. Now the Chiefs, let's just say this, okay? The Chiefs did a great job in the Super Bowl. Hypothetically, let's just say this, that D-line versus your O-line, I still take you. Okay? There's two. Your O-line's better than Kansas City's, even with Chris Jones. Okay? The Rams, you own that. The Bucks, I think you own that. Denver, you own that. New York, you own that. Minnesota, you own that. New York again, you own that. Green Bay, you own that. Detroit, tough one, you own that. Dallas again, you own that. Chicago, you own that. The Chargers, you own that. The Raiders, you own that. Washington, you own that. Buffalo, you own that. Washington, you own that. I mean, in every single game, you will have the advantage of your O-line versus the defensive lines in every single game that you'll play. Your schedule's not set up to stop you in your running attack. Why in the fuck would you even have to know? Get this. Well, Sills, Xander says this all the time. Well, Sills, teams are going to start, doing things to stop, the running game at Barkley. I don't believe those teams have the personnel to do it. I don't give a shit what kind of coordinator you have. You could bring Bud Carson out of the grave and put him in there as your DC, and you're not winning. You're just not winning. Every fucking team on your schedule this year is not set up to contend with your O-line. Get this. I'm not saying you're going to win all those games. I'm saying you walk into every one of those games with the physical advantage of having your O-line versus those D. Name me a D-line you think that your O-line can't handle. Name me one O-line. Dude, you're going to have that. So get this. So you want to start throwing the ball more to create higher opportunities and turnover plays? For what? You're playing into the hands of your opponent. You can't name one team this year on that schedule that you'll line up where the offensive line is going to be outmanned. Can you? So you're going to do this. You're going to increase the volume of passing. For what? By the notion that teams are going to stop. Hey, I may want to be able to have the idea that I'm going to stop Saquon Barkley, but do I have the personnel, the Jimmies and the Joes, to do it? The answer is no. They don't. You know, I when I was listening to these guys talking today, they were talking about, I think that Hurts is going to have an MVP season. That's fucking not the plan. The plan is to stay with the sauce and the formula and the recipe you have. That's the sauce. Why? The teams you're playing against are not set up to stop you. They're just not set up to stop you. There's not one team on this schedule. Not one team. Here, look. Let me see. Kansas City because of Chris Jones. Okay. Do I think Minnesota because they added Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave, whom I'm suspect in run play anyway? Javon Hargrave's a pass rusher. He's not a run stopper. And Jonathan Allen has been in and out of the starting lineup in Washington. Why? Because he's always hurt. Dallas has nobody. Once again, I'm not saying you're going to win all these games. I'm saying you're walking into every football game, every single game you're walking into with the physical advantage over the other team. Okay? And if you want to go down the line here with this, you can make the argument you got one of the better duos and defensive tackles in the middle of the football field with Davis and Carter. Bucks give you issues. Why? Why do the Bucks give you issues? Because Bowles brings pressure internally. And Hurts still struggles. I heard Xander ask John the question. The sacks don't bug you? They take you out of fucking field position. How does that not bug you? When you're in field position to put teams away, and you take a 15-yard sack on third down, and then you turn the ball over, how is that not contradicting the moving the sticks? It's like a turnover. You drive the ball down the field. You're in 3rd and 7. You take a sack of 15 yards to get out of field position for 3 points. You turn the ball over. How is that not contradicting to the offensive attack plan? I'm not worried about 48 sacks. Okay? I'm not worried about 48 sacks because I got Barkley. There's so much more growth for the offense. Get this, I heard them say something else. Could that offense run that defense over? I'll tell you what, if they would have got that offense in 3rd down, I don't believe that offense would beat that defense. If they got the in 3rd and long, they're not beating that defense. But if they're able to run the ball, which I would think they could run the ball on the edges, see, the key to your offense is Mailata and Lane. It's not just Barkley. It's Lane and Mailata. They break the edges down. They're the best tandem of tackles in the NFL in a long time. It's not that you have one. You have two. What does that mean? You're versatile in your run game. Listen, San Francisco is limited. Why? They can only – where do you see them running the – guys, I know you're smart in here. Where do you see the 49ers when they want to run the ball? Who do they run the ball over? Who do they run the ball over? When San Francisco runs the ball, where do they run the ball? Who's the one guy? Okay, one guy that they use when it comes to running. No one? Here, there you go. Trent Williams. That's right. They run over Trent Williams. The Eagles don't have to do that. Okay? Well, I must have missed that finesse team that ran you fucking over at Lincoln Financial and slapped you in the face when they did that because they ran you over. That's right. Trent Williams. At the end of the day, though, Philadelphia Eagles, man, they have two guys, which makes them versatile. Okay? Which makes them versatile. Kyle, thank you. It's like two offensive tackles Seattle used to have back in the day for Sean Alexander. Dude, when you got, and plus then your guard play and your center play. Okay? I don't give a shit if the 49ers are old. They're going to win their division this year because they've got the third easiest schedule in pro football. Do you notice the trend, Sills? Rages about for 90 minutes, then loosens up when guests. Bro, because when we invite people on our program, I want to get their opinion. You know my opinion already. What the fuck are you talking about, Kimberly? So what am I going to do? Scream at my guest all day? That's called showing respect for my guest. Funny how the NFL gave the Bills and 49ers the fourth and third easiest schedule. I don't get why but senor, the reason that the Bills have a soft schedule is because they're in the AFC East. So I kind of get it a little, but not a lot. So to circle back, Hurts has no shot at the MVP. Not because the style of play. It's not because he can't. And he won't be in it. But it'll be impossible. You had a guy last year with an iconic season who couldn't win it because he had Derrick Henry in the backfield with him. They gave it to Allen because there's nobody on that fucking team. Nobody. MVP is a crapshoot for Hurts. Yeah, because every year he plays, it'll be completely different. Okay? And by the way, Kimberly, we appreciate you coming on the program. I didn't mean to take a you-know-what on you here, bud. Really? Thank you. I know that. You're damn right that's how I do it. When I get guests on my program, hon, that's how you talk to people when you invite them into your home. You start fucking having a shit conversation with somebody or a bar conversation with your family and friends. If I bring someone on my program, I'm not going to assault them so they'll never come on again. That's called running a show. People were tired of. I'm never tired of Lamar. I don't. Hey, Leon, I don't subscribe to that. Well, the guy won the MVPs. That's like telling me this. Well, Michael Jordan didn't deserve the MVP the year that Karl Malone won it. And Karl Malone deserved it because we were just fatigued with Jordan. That's exactly what happened. I know it did. But I'm like this. That's a stupid mentality. Every year, from year 10 on, Michael Jordan should have won the most valuable player MVP. From year 6, Michael Jordan should have won the MVP every year. LeBron got jobbed on that. That does happen, Leon. Absolutely, that does happen. Okay? Seals, what's your take on Burrow and the Bengals if they miss the playoffs for a third year in a row? I want out. I totally want out. Why in the world? I'm going to pull a LeBron James. I'm going to make a decision. Why would I stay with an organization that does not want to win a Super Bowl? there lies the problem that you get when you don't have an organization that's committed, like Jalen Hurts plays for one. Jalen Hurts plays for a committed organization. They're committed to winning. The Bengals kind of are. And I'll tell you this, too. If I were the Cowboys, I'd make a play for that. I would make a play. Imagine Burrow in South Beach. Well, hopefully the owner sells the team. Burrow to the Cowboys would be smart for them, but I don't see it. Yeah, because Cowboys don't make smart moves. If Burrow replaced Dak, they'd have a shot. Absolutely. But again, personnel decisions and coaching decisions. Here, let me ask you this. Go here and think of this for a second. The Buffalo Bills have Sean McDermott, and the Cincinnati Bengals have Zach Taylor. Do you think those two quarterbacks are getting the best head coaching that you could possibly put around those guys? Do you believe that? Okay? Do you believe they're giving them the best? Whatever you want to say about Nick Sirianni goes with what the organization is looking to do. It is a collaborative effort. They gave Jalen Hurts a shitty offensive surrounding. They rectified it. So let me ask you this. I heard John say that Kevin Petula was the designer of the offense. In 2024, he said he's the guy who's designed it. Well, what was Kellen Moore's job? What was Kellen Moore's job? So let me get this right. Kellen Moore didn't add anything to the offense. Kevin Petula designed it. How did the guy get the head coaching job in New Orleans? So he was a non-factor, Kellen Moore, and it was Kevin Petula and Nick Sirianni and their decisions that won the Super Bowl a year ago? Is that what you wanting me to believe? That Kellen Moore had nothing to do with it? That Kevin Petula designed it? One thing I know for a fact, Kevin Petula didn't call it. Kellen Moore brought nothing to the offense. No, brought nothing. How he put the guy Barkley in the room? So whose call was that? According to people that cover the team, makes it now you're making it try to sound like it was Kevin Petula that made that call. Just to give Kevin the opportunity because now he's the OC in the team. It's absurd to think that. I have never heard of a quarterback coach having more power than the offensive coordinator in putting a structure together. It's all good, Kimberly. I apologize if it came off that way, hon. I trust Kevin. He and Gailey created the pistol offense. Chan Gailey, I'm assuming you're talking. Remember when pistol came out, it caught everyone off guard. I trust Kevin's IQ. Leon, his IQ has nothing to do with in-game situational play calling. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to have a feel for the game. You could be the smartest guy on the planet. You could be Mike McDaniels. That don't make you a fucking great play caller. You could have an MIT degree. Can you call a play? Can you call a defense? Can you call an offense? I don't know. What, because you think that you have some chemical engineering degree, you think all of a sudden that makes you a great play caller? I certainly don't think that. Okay, well then, Pat, I'm not saying he did it. But what was Kevin Patillo? What was Dan Kellen's job? I think Kevin worked closely with Hurts. Hurts wasn't called on to do anything a year ago. It was Barkley. Who do you think had more say in the success of the team a year ago? Kevin Patillo or Jeff Stoutland? Who had more say in the game and in the winning of the team? Stoutland, the run coordinator, who had 2,700 yards rushing with his 5 monsters, or Kevin Patillo designing whatever? Who do you think had more say? When it came to the structure and it came to how you were going to win games, who, in your opinion, do you think? Of course, it's Stoutland. He had way more say in that offense a year ago than Kevin did. The run coordinator is him. The passing coordinator was 30th. The run game also allows Patillo to ease into his new role. Yeah, that's true, yes. You don't have to do it. Bro, if you improve the passing game 5%, the team will be headed in the right direction. But once again, you're playing, I just showed you, 17 teams that can't and fundamentally will not have the advantage with you against your O-line. You just won't. No, that's right. 2,900 yards, 18 TDs, 600 rushing yards. The majority of those TDs rushing were push. I know. I mean, I get it. He was like wide receiver 3 on the team. His influence is more in the run game than it is in the passing game. But dude, again, I'm not sure what we're talking about here. You won a Super Bowl. Do a maniac. How you doing, brother? Guys, hit the like button, please. Why would you pay Saquon that much money to not run the ball? Because you're paying $51 million and you're paying $100 million between 2 wide receivers and a quarterback. That's why. This is not, okay? This is not an ability to sit here and say you want to change. Okay? That's one of the things there. You can't take those away, Dan. Those, brother, I'm not taking nothing away. I'm not ripping the guy. This is not a rip conversation. This is just talking about how you think that Hurts is going to have some MVP season. Who cares? He is, as long as Saquon Barkley is in that huddle, he will not have an MVP type year. He will not. Unless something happens dramatically when it comes to the run game and Barkley gets hurt. He will not. Still, why would the Super Bowl champions pass? They wouldn't. Because get this. The conventional wisdom would be that, well, teams are going to load up. I just told you. Like who? Like who? Who's going to load up? Kansas City? Okay. Who else? Who else? Tampa? Okay. Still get 2 games. Give me another one. Who else is going to load up where you think you may have the disadvantage? going into a football game. 2 games, maybe. That's not worth it for me to sit there and go like this. Hey, look, I'll take 2 losses on my record. That means I get home field advantage. The Rams, I don't think the Rams, okay, they added the nose tackle, who's classically injured all the time. Well, get this. You're not playing the Ravens. Okay, the Lions, there's 3. So you're back to 14-3. The Vikings, no way. So are you under the assumption that Javon Hargrave is a great run stopper? Or that Jonathan Allen will even be on the field by the time they play? Yeah, wake me up when that happens. The Packers, I don't believe the Packers have a good D-line. I think they're okay. Dan, the Bucs can't load the box. The same if AJ and Smith are actually on the field. It's not about loading the box. It's about Hurts and his pressure. Why do you think Jalen Hurts struggles against Todd Bowles? Because Todd Bowles confuses him when it comes to setting protections. Todd's got his number. Todd calls those. Jalen Hurts can't handle Todd Bowles. Last 2 games, they've owned him. Why? Because he knows you know what he does? He gives them false landmarks, thinking where the pressure's coming from, and Todd confuses them. And that's why. You're going to go like this. Well, Lane wasn't on the field, and, well, that's not a fucking Buck problem. Okay, they were on the field except for AJ in that playoff game. That's not a Buck problem. That's a you problem. Just like when other teams don't have players, that's not an Eagle problem. That's a you problem. That's part of, every single time when I hear people go, we didn't have this guy in the field, that's fucking part of the game. It's the weakest excuse. Well, they weren't on the field. They weren't on the field? Well, that's a you problem. War of attrition is part of the. Why do you think the Philadelphia Eagles go out of their way to make sure that they're healthy at the end of the year? Because they know the war of attrition is part of the conversation. Very simple. Well, they weren't on the field. Well, guess what? Too bad. Overcome it. Okay? Might only be the Bucs, Chiefs, or 2, maybe Chargers, because of Jim Harbaugh. So you're talking 3 teams. That's 14-3. And for the record, RC3, I think they can beat you, but they got to play an A+ game. Here. Look, here, I'll do this again here. The Eagles could play a C+ ball game and beat the Cowboys. Cowboys have to play an A+ game to beat you. Okay? Kansas City, you have to play a B+ game to beat them. They have to play an A game. Rams have to play an A game. You could play a C+ game and beat them. The Bucs are different because of Bowles. You got to play pretty well against them. Denver, I think you can play a B game and beat them. Shit. You can play a D+ game against that Giants team and beat them. You're physically more dominant in the O-line than any of those other teams. What in the world would I want Jalen Hurts to try to put up numbers for what? To make him look good for an MVP race? Who gives a shit? Don't you see it? Every year that Jalen Hurts threw for less yardage, he went to the Super Bowl. 23 threw more attempts, had more touchdown passes, and it was a colossal disaster at the end and the beginning of 24. How many yards did he throw for in 22? 36? 36 to 29. Okay? And he's not going to throw for what he did in 22 as long as Barkley's in the field. Look at this guy. Last 2 games, they've owned you. It's not glazing. It's scoreboard. That's scoreboard. Well, we didn't have our guys. Yeah, welcome to the NFL. Weakest conversation you can ever have. Well, we didn't have our guys. Fucking so what? I know there's 53 dudes. This is not college football. We have 100 guys dressed. I'm just saying the dynamic of play calls changes when AJ is on the field. I showed you that stat. They're 43-9 when Hurts and him are on the field. It's an 83% win percentage since he's been on the football field. Absolutely true. Let's see here. Eagles have won a Super Bowl, so what is Sills whining about? No one's whining, guy. I'm talking about Hurts' ability to win an MVP. Nothing more. Stop fucking making something up that we're not even talking about. Whining? He's talking about whining, guy. There's not a shot your quarterback wins the most valuable player as long as that guy is on the field with you, and it's okay. Whining? There's no whining, asshole. Seals, we need to talk about something we haven't discussed yet. Quarterback 2, McKee. Jalen hasn't stayed healthy for a full season. How many games can McKee win? I think he can win a boatload. He ain't winning the Super Bowl, and the run game won't be the same. Let me put this out here to you here. Okay? Leon, he can win some games. Okay? He can win games. He ain't winning the Super Bowl. Like, that guy could win you 10, 11 games. But he ain't winning the Super Bowl. Hey, dude, you should. Here, and I'll give it to you here. And this was my comparison. You look at Tanner McKee, and you see Brock Purdy. Before you hate that comparison, Brock Purdy just signed a $53 million contract and took a team to a Super Bowl for being the last player drafted in the draft. I don't know about you, but Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen haven't done that yet. And that guy wasn't expected to do shit. Actually, he was drafted later than Tanner McKee. McKee was a 6th-rounder. He was the last player taken. Think of that. Less was expected from Brock Purdy than Tanner McKee. Think about, hey, Leon, about your boy. For Tanner McKee to have the same thing that you're talking, he would have to have the type of career that Brock Purdy's having. That would get him $53 million. He may. There's a lot of things to like about him. Seals, me personally, I would attack the weakest part of the defense, rather it's passing or running. But you're going to attack the Eagle defense on the corner, the safety, and on the edges. I had a conversation with Todd Bowles the other day. And Todd asked me a question about the Eagles. He said, where's their weakest point? And I told him, I said, the edges. Now hear me out. And I told him where I thought his weakest points were. And I'll tell you my conversation. I like Todd Bowles. And I had a really great conversation with him. And he asked me, and I go, I'm not sure their weaknesses, though. I think there are more question marks. So, I mean, It hasn't been proven. Hold on here, Leon. Let me tell you, hold on. I told him this. I said, I don't know their weaknesses yet. I think they're questions. Well, I'm going to give you something that he and I talked about. I think you'll understand. This is how Bill Belichick would attack your football team. How many people here understand how you attack a football team? This is a Bill Belichick philosophy. Okay? Hey, son, go write my name on your hand. This is how Bill attacks football teams. This is how Bill Belichick attacks football teams. Okay? You ready? He'll find the weakest links in knowledge. The weakest links in knowledge of the game, in what you're being asked to do when it comes to the scheme of the defense. Let me ask you something about your defense. Where do you think you have the least amount of knowledge of playing in a scheme on your defense? At what positions? The edge, I happen to think these guys know what to do. But I don't know if they're physically set up to do it. So I said this to Todd. I think they know what to do. I think the kid Hunt's bigger. I think the guy Nolan Smith they're going to put in space. And they are. They got him at the weak side. I'm not sure that that's going to be a giant weakness for the Eagle defense is setting the edge. Where I think the weakness is going to be at safety and corner. And I said, those two guys, because of the lack of knowledge. Now, Ringo's been in the system. So that's why I don't know if it's a lack of talent. But it's a lack of knowledge of playing the position with reps. And that's how I would attack that defense. And one of the off linebackers, I don't believe Trotter has the speed, but he has the knowledge and understanding of where to fit. He turned around and asked me this. What do you think our weakness is? I said linebacker play, and I think your safety play a year ago was atrocious. And that's with Antonio Winfield. He goes, yeah, we didn't play very well back there. I said, you were one of the worst teams in the NFL at playing at the safety position. Okay, so Leon, I told him, I go, your linebacker play, Levante David and Antonio Winfield, they were terrible a year ago. They got to play better. I think Levante David is too old. And personally, it plays an advantage for you against the Bucs. Why? They don't throw in the middle of the field. Jalen Hurts is not going to throw in the middle of the field against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Okay? He's not. Okay? All right? He's not. He is not. However, I don't believe that your secondary can cover A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith doing those seam routes. No fucking way. If you let A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith run in that secondary and you can't confuse Jalen Hurts at the line of scrimmage, they'll put 35 on you. He believes me. I said, I had about an hour conversation with Todd Bowles. Bucks are like my friends now. And I told him, I go, if you allow A.J. Brown to run that slant play on you and you don't get proper safety play, he'll run all night. And then God forbid, I go, let me tell you this, that Barkley's hitting his head on the goalpost every single time he touches the ball. If Vita Vea is not healthy for that game, I mean, and by the way, with Tristan Wirfs not being in that game, okay, with Tristan Wirfs not being in that game, Andy Heck or Charlie Heck is not going to stop a guy running a 4.34, getting around that horn. He'll fucking destroy Baker Mayfield. He'll not have the time. They're in for a long. I do not believe I thought the Bucs were going to win that game. I don't believe it now. I just don't believe it. You lost Tristan Wirfs. The Bucs are winning that game. Or the Eagles are winning that game. I told them I don't believe that the Buccaneers can. I don't think they can win without Tristan Wirfs. They got mad. They didn't get mad at me, but I questioned their medical team. July 8th, you have the guy do surgery. You knew he was walking around in a fucking boot during OTAs and minicamp. Who made that call? I mean, seriously, who made that call? Did the team doctors? Because I'll tell you what, if that's my team doctors, I want my team doctors coming out front and going, that was the player getting a second opinion, and he went with the second opinion. I would not want my team to know that my doctors misdiagnosed a player of that skill that cost them potentially being on the PUP list. That is a major disaster. Hey, Leon, let me tell you this. I can tell them all the things they need to know. You then don't have the personnel to stop you. Many of these people are my friends. I told them, I don't think you can beat them. If that Eagle team rolls in there and you get the same safety play and linebacker play that you got a year ago against that Eagle team with Devontae Smith and with A.J. Brown, there's not a chance in hell. If Jalen Hurts picks up the blitzes, the only chance they have is that Hurts taking sacks that John thinks doesn't matter. Okay. Let me ask you this. You think the sacks mattered in that Buck game? Oh, we didn't have our wideouts. Well, they know that. Seals, if I was attacking Philly, I'd utilize crossing patterns and test the ability for their DBs. I don't believe. Look, I think their corners are pretty decent. The Bucs. I think the Bucs corners are pretty decent. But I think, again, Antonio Whitfield, I don't know what he had. I mean, maybe he was counting his money. But I think he had a very poor year. And he got that enormous contract from them. And he did not play well. I thought Levante David should have retired. I told them that. They should have retired. Because he was not good a year ago. Put the game film on. I got some game film. They gave me some game film. They were playing New Orleans or something. I'm watching it. I'm going like, this guy's slow to get to the fill. He's slow in scraping. He's slow in coverage. They were getting knocked off the ball because Vita Vea was in and out of the lineup. I'm like, this is bullshit here. The Eagles were humming off the. You put the Eagle tape on and you put the Buck tape on defensively. It was all over the place. Some games they played exceptional. Some game the Eagles played great every game. Every game they played great. You go like this, Bucks. That's not a great effort. That's not a great effort. They were too inconsistent. Well, players were in and out of the lineup. Well, what the hell? It's not an excuse. It's just not an excuse. I do not subscribe to that kind of conversation. Well, the guy wasn't on the field. Well, welcome to the NFL. Welcome to the league. I just pointed possibly out. You know what that is? You have the physical and mental skill set versus every team you'll play in your roster this year or schedule. Why am I throwing the ball? Well, teams are going to try to go ahead. People tried to beat George Foreman. Let me ask you this. So Mike Tyson, when he fought, and he was in his prime, do you think guys knew Tyson was looking for the one punch to knock you out? They were going to do everything in their power not to get hit by that one punch. Right? They're going to do everything in their power. Do you think they knew that Tyson was going to throw a gigantic right hand? Or a tremendous combination? They knew that. every single time he got into the ring, you knew Tyson's game plan. He was going to hit you and hit you hard and often. And one of those punches were going to knock the shit out of you. You think people had a game plan? What's Tyson's famous line? Everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Well, that's what the Eagles are. Xander says it all the time. Well, teams are going to try to, everyone will have a plan until the Eagles punch him in the mouth. And when the Eagles punch him in the mouth, out goes the game plan. Sills, I thought you were crazy when you said Denver would have the best defense. I did my reading homework. They added Hufanga and Greenlaw, plus they added the kid from Texas, Barron. I think they have a shot to be the number one ranked defense in the entire NFL. Okay, they're the paper champions going into the season. They're the paper number one defense going into the season. And I also have to think that Houston's going to be in that conversation. But, again, on paper, whatever. You got to go out and play, and you got to go out and execute. You can have the best route. That's why I think some of you guys asked the question. Yeah, I think they're better. I do. Because I don't think the front seven of the Ravens is all that hot. I think they're decent. I don't think they're great. I think there's more balance. Here, and remember this too, Leon. You don't have to have first-team All-Pros to have the number one defense in the NFL. You guys proved that. You had only one. As a matter of fact, you only had 2 first-team All-Pros on your entire football team. But you had the best roster in the NFL. Doesn't that tell you something? You had 2 dudes on both sides of the ball that were first-team All-Pros. That's it. But you had the best roster in the league. Okay? I mean, yeah, the Tristan Wirfs thing is huge news to, if you're an Eagle fan, that you don't have to worry about that guy being, I think he's going on the PUP. You don't have surgery July 8th and think you're missing 2 weeks. Now, you miss 4 weeks out of 17 games. What are we talking here? 13 ball games. I'd rather have Tristan Wirfs for 13 ball games, win my division, than sitting there not having him for the entire year. Okay? Yeah, I had a great conversation. It's great to connect with Todd Bowles. I asked him flat out. I said it was funny watching your scheme that Vic ran against Kansas City. He goes, I know. He ran his defensive scheme against Kansas City because that's kind of what they do in Tampa. That's Bowles' defense. It's a Tampa 2. You understand? Your defense is a style of Tampa 2. Who invented that? Tony Dungy. That style of play that Vic runs is from Dungy. Okay? Two eye safety, playing back. Why do you think Vic plays Todd too? Why do you think those guys play more off the ball? What do you think? What's the philosophy that Vic has? What's he trying to do? What do you think that style of defense is trying to do? Okay? What do you think he's trying to do? Bro, they didn't run a Tampa 2 in Pittsburgh with Bud Carson. They didn't run that. They ran man defense in there. During those steel curtain years, they ran man. Plus, they had Joe Green on the tilt nose. Avoid here. Leon's right. It's avoid the big play and do what, Leon? They want everything from the numbers out to come into the zone. Why is it so important to have Cooper DeJean in the middle of the field? Because guess what? These players are running into pursuit. And the best open field tackler on your football team right now is Cooper DeJean. Bond's right there. This is the one thing you didn't have in 22. I didn't really think you were a great tackling team in 22. You guys agree with that? That team that went to the Super Bowl? I didn't really think that you were that great of a tackling team that year. This team is or was a great tackling team. Like the 2014 was spectacular in open space and open field. The games played in such wide space. And this team was a way better tackling team than that 22 team that went to the Super Bowl. It played itself out in the Super Bowl against Kansas City because remember what they did in the fourth quarter? They ran crossing routes. And remember what you were seeing? You were seeing Gardner Johnson running into corners, and guys were just running into each other all over the place because they didn't have the knowledge of what was happening in front of them because Andy Reid was running those complex schemes. That didn't happen this time because you had open field tackling guys that could play in space. DeJean, Q, Reid, to some limit. This is why I'm not a fan of Reid. I don't think Reid's that great in space. I think he's great in limited space. Like him with a wide open field, I'll take that matchup every day. He's not that talented. However, with guys around him that condense the zone and keep him in that small box, he is good. What happened in 23? The box got bigger. He had to make more plays. He got beat deep and he got beat underneath more because he didn't have a strong safety sitting next to him. When you have better defensive players around Reed Blankenship, he's a better ball player. To sit there and try to tell me that guy's a fucking $12 million player is ridiculous. But you put him around the good ball players, he's a good player, man. He's a solid, reliable guy. He's got great knowledge. He just doesn't have the skill set. Why do you think they drafted another safety? Because they're looking for more skill set. They're looking to upgrade. They're also not sold on Sidney Brown. Here's the problem that you have with Sidney Brown. He over pursues, he overhits, and he's not very durable. Is he good? Yeah. Okay, well, that's too bad then. That's too bad. Here, see this here? When a UDFA is a starting safety, and you got a guy who's been in and out of the tub, and you drafted him in the third round, and that guy's question mark on moving forward, and then you draft another safety, if I were Sidney Brown, I wouldn't buy a house. I would not buy a house in Philly. If I was Sidney Brown, I'd be a renter. Because the chances of you making that team are 50-50 right now. Because of their actions of what they did personnel-wise when it came to drafting. They drafted really two safeties in a row. Cooper's not a corner. I don't give a shit what PFF ranked them. A slot corner is not a corner. It's more of a safety position. Shit, Vic tells you that every day. Yeah, I told him I don't think it's a talent issue with Philly. I think it's more of an experience issue. We do have around $30 million in cap space. I checked it. If we need someone, we can do something mid-season. Man, I hate those mid-season moves. The only mid-season moves that I would be a fan of is if you got more help internal, like on the defensive line position, like you did with Linval Joseph and getting Adama Sue. Something like that I'd be a fan of. Finding a linebacker in the open market, who are you going to sign? Kaiser White? He's available. You want to bring Kaiser back? Kaiser White's a free agent. Had 120 tackles with him. Helped bring a team to a Super Bowl. You know? He's a free agent. Who are you going to bring in then? It's going to be a cast of names like that. They're going to be making it. Who's going to trade with the Eagles in season, knowing full well they may be light at safety or corner? I'm going to trade with them. Why? So I can make you better? I'm looking, unless I get a King's ransom back, I'm not doing anything with them. Philadelphia right now, this is where Philly's going to be insane great. You know where they're going to be insane great? They're going to be insane great in 26 and 27. Okay? They're going to be, and then the windows now. And when you get conversations like I said, look, we started this off by doing this. So if you take the Eagles out of the conversation, Rams, Bucks, Commanders, Lions, Green Bay, I don't know. Not one of those football teams do I think, even with the 5 losses at the start that started in the Super Bowl for you, I don't think they're better. I just don't think they're better. You don't need a home run, Dan, just a quality safety like another Blankenship. Dude, 2 Reed Blankenships in your secondary playing next to each other, that's not going to make it. That's not going to cut it. 2 average players, that's not going to cut it. I think Reed is good. Do I think he's like a benchmark guy? I do not. Not at $10 million. That guy is not a 10. I'm not paying that money for that dude. I'll go find another guy. $10 million? I got to save my money for Nolan. For Cooper. For Q. Maybe if Davis comes in and he plays, I got to do all that too. Reed? No, thank you. I'll draft another safety or sign one. Like I said to you in the past, they have never really drafted a good safety. In the last 20 years, they've not really addressed that position in any way. Reed Blankenship is a prime example of it. He's an undrafted free agent they found. They didn't draft his ass. Reed is good playing in front of him rather than, yeah, that's about right, because when he gets turned, and he does get turned, I think he's common. But hey, you know, I mean, you've got other players on that team that show exceptional skill. I don't think he has exceptional skill. I think he's a really good player in a good scheme with good players around him. And if he doesn't have a good scheme, and if he doesn't have experienced good players around him, he's 23, Reed. It's all going to dictate who's there. Plus, I'll tell you what, Christian Parker's played a factor in this. He's a really good coach. Dude, I'm not signing Asante Samuel Jr. I don't want any of that. I'm going to die in the vine with the guys I have on my roster right now. They're telling you that. Dude, if Howie wanted that guy, he would have signed him the first week of free agency. They're going to give Keely Ringo the shot. You know why? His scouting report, like I told Todd Bowles about him. Because what do you make of Ringo? I said, well, I'll tell you. I read Carolina's and New England scouting report on him. And very high. They think he's a high-skilled player just with lack of experience. Do you understand what that means? The Eagles don't even know who he is yet. They know what he's capable with his skill set. Like here, when you look at Reed Blankenship, you know what that player is. Keely Ringo, you have no idea what that player is because he hasn't been given opportunity with reps. I would play him a lot in exhibition football. I would play him a lot in the preseason because I want to see him get live quality reps. he's not really ever received high-quality reps. Where? Where's Keely Ringo got real good quality reps? I've told you this before. He wasn't even called on a year ago to get quality reps in a game when they needed them. They went to Isaiah Rodgers. So, I mean, you still don't know yet. You have no idea. And that's, I go, I don't know who he is. Like, listen, you know, what do you think Q's greatest asset is? What do you think Quinyon Mitchell's greatest asset is? What's his greatest asset? Quinyon Mitchell, what you saw a year ago with him, what do you think that is? What athletic? I think this is it more. Athletic? I would say this, Yale. Welcome to the NFL. Excellent. Excellent. That's excellent. Okay? Wait a minute. Kimberly, he's a true zone corner. I don't know if he's a man corner, but he's a true zone corner. He played it at Toledo. The majority of the reps in his life he's ever received, not counting high school, what he played in college, and what he played here with the Eagles, they only played 2.7% of man defense. How can you be a lockdown corner with man defense when you play 2.7 of your plays? What did Vic say the amount of plays you ran last year in defense and man was what, 130? You don't play man defense. You play zone. So I don't know if he's a good man cover corner. That's irrelevant. It's not the scheme he plays. You know how I pointed this out to you guys about Milton Williams? Milton Williams is going to go up with a completely different scheme and play up in New England. They're going to be so disappointed in that player. Different scheme, different responsibilities, changing the entire front on what they're going to ask him to do and what he did in Philly. Be night and day for him. He'll be frustrated. He will be very frustrated. I gave you a comp to this. A friend of mine by the name of Bert Grossman, who played at Pittsburgh and was the first round pick, high pick, by the San Diego Chargers. His first 2 years, he had 10 sacks a year. He had 10 sacks a year. 20 sacks after his first 2 years. New coaching staff comes in, they change the defense. He goes down to 3 sacks a year. Why? Because he was asked different responsibilities and he was asked to play in a different scheme that did not fit his skill set. Happens all the time. That's why the Eagles haven't varied. From 2021 to 2024, has that defensive approach changed at all? Nope. To eye safety. Whether it's Sean Desai, Jonathan Gannon, or Vic Fangio. It's been the same fundamentals. The only thing that's been different have been the players. Pretty much the same stuff, right? It's pretty much the same stuff. Why do you think that is? Makes it easier to recruit. Makes it easier to draft. Makes it easier to find free agents. And a type of mold of a player we're looking for. It's easier to not have misses that way. You get that, right? If you're constantly, how many times do you see organizations constantly hiring new coaches? They bring a defensive coach in, they change the scheme. Well, Do you understand when you change this? They tried this shit in Chicago. And this is why Ryan Poles gets killed for it. You know what they do? Here's what teams do, and this is what Philly does not do. So you hire a new coordinator, right? Okay. He runs a 34. He runs a 34 defense. Next guy you hire runs a 43. What's the problem? Shit, you did all the drafting. You did all the UDFAing. You did all of the trades to set up for the last 3 years for a coordinator for a 34 defense. You make the trade and the change the following year for a 43, your personnel on your roster is not set up for it. And that's why you finished last in defense. That's why some of you are not wrong. There shouldn't be that big of a drop-off. Why? Well, you're fundamentally doing kind of, Vic's going to do variations of the year ago. Okay? And he's going to do some variations. But what he's going to do is stay pretty much in that structure. You know, when you talk to other coaches and when they ask me, what do I think the weakness in the Bucs is right now? I think it's your safety play and your linebackers. And if you allow A.J. Brown on the field and they get out and they run the ball the way they can, there's no way you're defending him. I think the Bucs are going to have a tough day with A.J. Brown in week 4. But he could go for 155 in that game. If you don't get in his face in man, and you can't and do not have the physicality to stop him at the line of scrimmage, and you think you're going to stop him on quick releases, no way. No way. I don't believe they have. Dean's a fine player back there. The kid Morrison's going to be a good ball player. No way. Not against that guy. He goes, you think that really I go, your guys are not going to jam him at the line of scrimmage. I have, in my time covering him, I have never seen a guy jam him at the line of scrimmage and shut him down like that. I can't tell you how many games I've watched going, why are they allowing that slant to be one-on-one covered? You can't allow that. I'd rather have Devontae Smith beat me. Let Devontae Smith beat me. Sills, if that's the case, then what was the difference between 23's defense and 24's defense? We had the same scheme. Great question. Why was this year so effective? Here's why. Because in your secondary, think about this, what you had. It's a great question. What was the number one difference that you had in 23 and 24? You had exceptional linebacker play. In 2024, your linebacker play in 23 was atrocious. And your safety play was terrible. The entire middle of your defense in 23 started splintering as the year went on. It got worse and worse. And by week 10, it was an avalanche. Then he started giving up 145 yards a game on the ground. The middle of the defense at 23 caved in. Okay? It caved in. It just started caving in. And most notably, too, your two tackles were out of shape. One guy I give him the benefit of because he's a young player. The other guy is Donut Davis, who wasn't ready to play. 140. Reuben Franks was saying they were giving up 145 yards a game from week 10 on. Tackling was the worst in the league. You couldn't tackle in open space. The linebacker play was atrocious. The volume of sacks in 23 went from a high-volume sack team to a limited sack team, which widened the zone in the middle of the defense. There was more room for making plays for the offense than there was in 22. In 24, they put it down to a porthole. There weren't a lot of open spaces on that football team. You were strong up the middle. The zone was shrunk, and you had exceptional linebacker play from sideline to sideline. Well, Bradbury got exposed because of one thing. What was that? When the volume of pressure went down on the quarterback, here, figure this out. Watch my pen here. In 2022, after Bradbury had that Pro Bowl season, when you get off the line of scrimmage and you got 70 sacks and you've got 90 hits on the quarterback, the routes are going to go to here, all underneath. When you don't get volume on the quarterback and you don't get the volume of sacks, the routes are going to go up here. And they're going to be more, and they're going to be deeper and more matured routes. The guy couldn't cover, like he couldn't cover in Carolina and New York. Everything was underneath in 22. Everything stayed underneath the two corners because they were too high. You had two high safety, and you had the corners off the ball. He kept everything underneath in 22. Volume of pressure. When that went away, the routes got more matured. They were at a third level. Made it almost impossible for you to defend that, especially with the lack of limited pressure. I mean, it was obvious that in 23, it all started with the middle of the field and in the middle of the zone with your linebacker play. Vic addressed that immediately. You know, they tried to address it in 24 by thinking that Devin White was going to be the guy. Remember, either they got lucky or Vic, and you have to give Vic the benefit of the doubt here. Why? Why do you have to give Vic the benefit of the doubt here? Because his forte, his entire 45-year coaching career, has been linebacker play. So you have to give him the benefit. You give him that benefit because he's had linebackers his entire life. Sills, Nolan and Coop said it. It's a mirage with the front and the back seven. Nolan, I'm still Switzerland on him. You see ability. Before I did it, you see it. I have questions on durability. I mean, he's going to be here. Get this. How many people think because of more workload and more reps and more snaps, he's going to be more productive? This was the thing that I tried pointing to you guys out with Bryce Huff. Bryce Huff had 437 snaps in New York, being a situational pass rusher. Philadelphia was going to up that by giving him 700 snaps. Once he got more volume of snaps, his production fell. Just because you have more opportunities and more snaps, that doesn't mean you're playing the odds and you think because he gets more snaps that guy's production is going to go up. It doesn't work that way. More snaps doesn't mean more production. More snaps mean more workload, where you're taking on players every single day. That's why when you hire a situational pass rusher and you're expecting that guy to be a 3-down guy, and he's a 460 snap guy every year, and all of a sudden you're trying to add 300 more snaps to that, you think that volume is going to, like, for Nolan Smith's going to have, how many snaps did he have a year ago? What was it, like 5 something? So you think he's going to put 800 snaps in there and he's going to be all right? Well, I want to see that. Josh Sweat's ability to be able to play productive football with that amount of reps. Same thing here. Who's going to play 1,100 snaps for C.J. Gardner snaps? Makuba and who? Sydney? Those guys are going to cover 1,100 snaps. Well, again, it's what I'm look. I don't think your issue on defense is talent. It's experience. Quality defensive coordinators attack knowledge, not talent. They don't give a shit how talented you are. They attack. Belichick's number one way of attacking defenses. He didn't give a shit what your name was. You know who he stayed away from? Why do you think he stayed away from Ed Reed? He called Ed Reed the smartest football player he's ever seen in his entire life. That he's ever game planned against. Do you know his second favorite football player in NFL history is Ed Reed? The one guy that he coached defensively was Lawrence Taylor. His second is Ed Reed. He goes, Ed is just, he's on the level by himself. He's knowledgeable. He was a corner playing safety. So, again, it's a different world here, man. All right. Great conversations going on this morning here on Birds 365. MVP season for Jalen Hurts. Never. Why? Lamar Jackson had 4,100 yards passing a year ago, 850 rushing, 41 touchdowns and 4 picks. Why didn't he win it? Well, there was a back in the room that had 2,200 rushing yards, counting the postseason by the name of Derrick Henry. The voters themselves are going to go with the guy who did the most. And for the record, like I said, too, Kevin Patullo. So I heard John say something about, he designed the offense. Well, if he designed the offense, or he was designing the game plans, what was Kellen's job? So Kellen didn't have a job? If it was Nick's decision to go to the running game, and Kevin Patullo designed the offense, what was fucking Kellen's job? Hand the ball right? Hand the ball left? I mean, wow. What a great gig. I got to become a guy making $11.5 million a year being a head coach of the New Orleans Saints. I signed a $35 million contract because I told the guy to hand the ball left and hand the ball right. What a fucking gig. Hey, that's America, man. I love it. All right. So without further ado, man, we bring in our boy. He had a great game. He had a great show today, man. So make sure you guys keep checking out Birds 365. Without any further, we bring in our boy, Big C, Xander Krauss. How you doing, brother?
What's up, Big Sills? How you doing, brother?
Hanging in there, man. You tell me. I heard you guys really had a great combo today. I mean, you really think that Jalen's going to have an MVP season? And I'll throw this like I threw out to everyone else. Okay, why do you think? And I think Lamar should have won it actually over Josh Allen. But why do you think Lamar didn't win the regular season Most Valuable Player award?
I'm not sure. I think voters had a little bit of fatigue maybe on him. I'm not sure. I didn't really. I wasn't too caught up in the MVP race last year. We were frying bigger fish here in the city of brotherly love. But I thought it was comparable. I mean, I thought Josh or Lamar, either one could have won.
Well, you guys brought it up, and you brought up the fact that you want to see Jalen win the MVP award.
Well, I think he's going to be back in that conversation. I don't know if he's going to win it or not, obviously, but I think he's going to have an MVP level season like he did in 22.
How can he? How would he when you have Barkley? He'll never be in that conversation with Barkley on the field. He just won't.
Well, it depends what defenses do.
Lamar's not going to be in that conversation either with Henry on the field.
Well, I mean, if defenses duplicate what Spags did for 8 weeks of the year, that's going to change Saquon's output completely, and that's going to give more opportunities for Jalen to have highlight moments or win the game in the air, or win the game with his legs or whatever, and he would be more of a focal point on the offense. The entire premise of my take this whole summer, which has been consistent, is that there's going to be a mild not regression in Saquon, but a bigger sight on him in opposing defenses, which will allow Jalen to become a bigger part of the offense this year as compared to last year when they handed it off to Saquon. Nobody could stop it. Nobody ever did stop it. And then Jalen never really had to step up and be the MVP player. I don't think it's a knock on him. I just don't think he had to be. And I think this year he's going to have to be a little bit more.
See, I don't see a team on this schedule where you will have where a team will have the upper hand on you with D-line versus O-line anywhere on this schedule. In every single game, 17 weeks, I don't think you have the personnel. Maybe, okay, let's just go with shits and giggles here. Kansas City. Let's say Kansas City duplicates it again, and Jalen has to play well. Okay, what other game are we looking at here? Let's see. Denver, maybe? Okay, they had a pretty good front. So we're talking two teams, maybe, and I don't believe it. You have the advantage in this schedule because you have the O-line over the D-line. Dallas is going to get destroyed. I think you have the upper hand in Kansas City. I think you have the upper hand in Los Angeles. I think you do with the Bucks, Denver, New York, Minnesota. I'm not throwing them. I want to see those guys try to come up with personnel that makes me go like this. Well, you're right, Xander. You know, these teams are going to do everything they can to put people in the box to try to beat them. Well, I don't think these teams have the personnel to do it.
Yeah. Well, you might be right about that. I mean, and then obviously that would mitigate how much Jalen would need to be used this year. So it's certainly possible. But, you know, I don't know. I think the NFL has so many switches each year. I think there's so much change. I think there's so much talent across the league, even on shitty football teams that, you know, I don't know. Do you think Saquon's going to run for 2,000 yards again?
I think he's going to run for north of 1,600 yards. I think it's going to be between 16 and 18, 1900
yards. Well, if he does that, then, I mean, yeah, you're probably not thinking
if healthy. Okay?
My bet is that Jalen has 7 or 8 games like Pittsburgh, like the Super Bowl, and like NFC title. That's my bet on Jalen and why I believe if you have a 14-win team, you have 7 or 8 of those games, you have the top seed in the NFC, you lead the league in primetime opportunities. That's where I think the MVP conversation comes into play because, you know how it is. Some of it is by default. I mean, it's not, let's be real. Honestly, the MVP of the NFL last year was probably Saquon Barkley. It probably was.
That's who my guy was.
Yeah, but he would have never have won the award because it's more of a quarterback award. He won the Offensive Player of the Year. But let's be real. When you look back at the 2024 football season and the year is 2034, what's the NFL world going to talk about the 2024 year? Is it going to be Saquon and the Eagles or is it going to be Josh Allen and the Bills? It's going to be Saquon and the Eagles. So it's not always a perfect thing. But I think because the Eagles are going to be so good, if he has 8 of those games like he did versus Pittsburgh where, 290 and 2 touchdowns in the air that game I think he had, I think he's going to be right up there in the conversation. Obviously, the team has to be really good too.
Here's the last bit of years on the MVP. Last 12 seasons, the quarterback has won the Most Valuable Player award. And since 2001, only 3 non-quarterbacks have won the Most Valuable Player award, and they were all running backs. So, again, like you said, to validate what you just said, there's no doubt that this thing's going to come down to it's going to come down to a quarterback. And I think it's going to come down to a quarterback like it did a year ago. It's going to come down to one of those 3 dudes that have not won a Super Bowl yet. I think you look at Philadelphia. And again, Xander, winning the MVP award, I mean, it's a great honor. It's truly, it's a thing that helps get you to the Hall of Fame when you win one of those awards. All players want those accolades. You said it, you go like this. I was more worried about this. Well, Lane Johnson even made a comment. He was pissed off that he didn't make first team All-Pro. They want it all, okay? I mean, they want the trophy. They want the personal accolades.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
So let me go here with Kevin Patullo. So you guys were talking about Kevin Patullo and how he designed the offense. And John was talking about how he put the offensive game plan. And he's been in the building with Nick for all these years here, and he put the game plan in there. Okay, let's just go by the premise that because John's in the pit, he knows, and I'm not disputing it. My question would be then was, what was Kellen's job?
Well, I do think it was a collective effort. I don't think it was just straight up Kevin Patullo and, he handed Kellen Moore what to do.
Oh, okay. So he designed it. Who made the call on flipping it from being a running attack team to an offensive from a passing?
I think it's I think everything is a collective. I don't think there's one dude who just says, hey, you're in the corner and you don't have a say in this. I think they run it by Nick. They talk to Nick about it. They give each other's ideas because they're all coaches and they respect one another. And then they come to a collective decision. And I think Nick is the final say, to be honest. I don't think Kevin Patullo said, hey, Nick, we're doing this. And Nick goes, okay. I think he says, Nick, I'm thinking of this. This is what I think will work based on what I've seen. What do you think of it? And Nick probably goes, that looks good. Let's do that. Run with it this week. Let's see how it works.
I believe that. I completely believe that. My question then turns around and but I would say this. Okay, so all of that being said, what you guys said today, what does that have to do with play calling?
What, with Patullo?
Yeah.
Well, play calling is more about probabilities. I mean, if you know overall what your offense is going to be, and you have an idea of what you want to accomplish based on first down, second and short, second and long, third and short, then I think play calling is not as important as people make it out to be.
You sound like an analytics guy there.
Well, no, I'm not trying to sound like an analytics guy. I'm trying to say that I do think when you get down to it, and when you do have a quarterback that controls things at the line of scrimmage, and you have talented football players around, I mean, what dictates the success of a play more? The players on the field, and what Jalen does at the line of scrimmage, or the play that gets called into the headset. I don't know. I think it's a combination of both. I'm not saying that you can have a shitty play caller and win a lot of football games. I'm not saying that, but
because they said that about Brian Johnson in 23.
And Brian Johnson wasn't a bad play caller. Everybody hated the screens and the dump offs, but do we even know if that was all Brian Johnson, by the way? I mean, they were the number 8th ranked offense. I think there was a lot of growing pains for not only Brian Johnson, but for Nick Sirianni, for Jalen Hurts, for even, I think, the front office a little bit at times with Brian Johnson. I think that was, I don't know. I don't like that scenario with Brian Johnson.
I don't think personally that 2024, the offensive approach had anything to do with analytics, because that offense that they ran is not conducive to the way and the style of play in today's NFL. And it countered every single thing that the analytics department would tell you how to win a game. And that would be to run the football. And what it did was it went against, and you had to be more of an in-game situational play calling. Don't you agree? Where you're talking about, we're going to run the football. What analytics do you think played a factor? And I'm not saying you are, Xander. I'm saying that analytics didn't play a factor at all in that championship run last year. It didn't at all.
No,
they came around and fucking handed the ball and watched this guy hit his face on the wall in the end zone every play. I mean, so when they say, situationally, and this turned out to be, it's something that evolved into this. Shit, dude. There was nothing to do with the analytics department of what won that Super Bowl a year ago. They decided they didn't want to turn the fucking football over, and they went, we're going to run it. So, again, that means limited touches for Jalen. I don't believe there's a football team on the field that you're going to play this year that can stop you dudes. I just do not believe it. All right. So I looked over.
So wait, is your take from that, though, that Jalen's not going to have a big year because you just don't think it's going to? Yeah.
I think Jalen's going to have a Super Bowl type year.
Not an MVP.
Yards,
right.
3,200 yards, 20 touchdowns, 9 picks. As long as Barkley is – that won a Super Bowl.
What do you have last year, 18-5 or something?
18-5, 2,900 yards. But if he plays the remaining 2 games, he's over that. He's probably right at that number, 3,200, right? He would have been right there at 32, probably 20 touchdowns.
I think he goes over 35.
35, 20, and 9. And then 700 rushing, 14 TDs. What's the problem with that? 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 W Why do you think that's bad ball?
I don't think it's bad ball.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's
it's bad ball at all. I don't really care about the pundit of what pundits think it hurts. I mean, I know everybody gets their panties in a bunch, but
I think I'm giving him a compliment.
I think if Jalen though continues to do what he does and wins to the level that he's won at, it doesn't matter if he's got 2,000 yards a year passing. After 5 years, you're going to look and say, what the hell? The guy's got 4 Super Bowl appearances. He's got 2 wins. He's got 4 NFC appearances in his first 7 years. Like, you're going to look at the resume and be like, yeah, I mean, who cares? Maxton, I'm sorry, I don't think you're right at all. I really don't care because I'm not in it for stats. Maxton, what would you rather have? I mean, congratulations to Josh Allen, who won an MVP last year. Would you rather have brought home that award or brought home the one that we did where an entire city paraded, 2 million people paraded through the city? I don't really think that matters.
It's not about stats. It's about organizations. John says it all the time. Organizations let quarterbacks down every time.
Yeah, I don't think they're letting Jalen down.
Do you play in a good organization that cares about winning?
I don't think they're letting Jalen down at all.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Hey, I told Todd Bowles, if you allow that guy, A.J. Brown, to get back in that secondary and you allow him to run that slant play with the shitty safety play and linebacker play you had a year ago, he'll get 165 yards on you in that game.
And you're right about that.
In week 4.
And if you don't have Tristan Wirfs in that game, it's trouble.
Nolan Smith is going to hit his face mask on the back of Baker Mayfield's helmet. I think they're going to – if he goes on that pup list, there's no way the Bucs beat or have a shot to beat the Eagles.
I don't think they have a shot, by the way, with them, to be honest with you.
Well, I do. They've
been the Eagles' kryptonite to this point, for sure. I mean – it's a smaller sample size. It's not like it's this
2 games.
Huh?
It's only 2 games.
Well, there's the 2 playoff games. One of them was with Tom Brady, and and Jalen was first-year starter. Does anybody
playoff game in last year?
Yeah, the last year. Also, though, the playoff year that we lost, and we beat him in the regular season that year. I think Todd Bowles was like 4-1 versus us. So he does have our number a little bit. It's fair to say that at 4-1 versus Jalen, I think. But I'm not. No. It is what it is. I'm not worried about him.
Here, I would ask you this because I heard you say this today. So, are you in the boat with John that you don't think sacks matter?
No, but I think there is more context to sacks than people let on, and Bryce Hoff is just a perfect example of that.
No, I'm talking about quarterbacks taking sacks.
Oh, quarterbacks taking sacks. You're not talking about getting sacks.
My bad. Talking about
I'm kind of in the middle, as I usually am on YouTube, where I think John probably takes it too far of a level where they do matter because they end drives and they make it a lot harder to run your offense. Right? If you're in 2nd and 15 or 3rd and 12 because you took a sack, you have a way different play sheet. I mean, we just spoke about play calling a little bit ago. The play sheet's way different. So I think from that perspective, it's a problem, but it is a catch-22 where you have a quarterback that thrives outside the pocket, that has athletic and playmaking ability, and is going to do that at times, right? I mean, he's not Joe Burrow or Baker Mayfield where that ball comes out and, 3-step drop, back foot plants, and the ball comes out. That's not Jalen. That's not his game, and I don't think we want him to be that. So you're going to take a little bit more sacks because of that, but I think Jalen's probably taken a little bit too many. And I think the plays where he takes them where they're bad are very obvious. I really do.
I think you're right. And I'll tell you what. So you're going to learn to live with Barry Sanders taking minus plays when he goes like this, -1, -5, 77-yard touchdown run. It's just who he is. So you're going to learn to live with that because the guy moves around in the pocket so much. He's the more difficult guy. Where Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert are, right? In the back of the pocket. As an old lineman, you know where they are. You know where they are. When you're Jalen Hurts, you're back there moving around in the pocket because you're mobile. So you're likely to take more sacks. My problem with him is with taking those sacks, they take you guys out of field position for scoring points. Almost every single sack a year ago that ended drives, it took you out of some type of field position to to earn scores. And to me, that's like a turnover.
Well, you said that. I don't think it's a turnover, but I do think that you're right.
That's over.
Well, I think I think where you're right is if your margin for error is smaller this year because, your defense isn't as good or Saquon isn't running for as many yards or all those things, then I do think those little things will start to add up a little bit more where last year the team was you heard Saquon say it. I forget whose podcast Saquon was on, but he's like, I think we were one of the best teams of all time because after week 4, we literally went belt to ass on everybody. And they really did. So the margin for error was wide last year. And if you don't have that this year, maybe it does come back and bite them a little bit more. But look, he didn't take 50 sacks. I think he had 34, 35.
Counting the playoffs, it was 40-something. He had 35 in 15 games. And he took sacks.
Jalen's.
It was 35 in the regular season in 15. And he took 43, I believe it was, counting the playoffs.
Yeah, let me get the stats. Let me see what he's taking because I did last year. He took 38 sacks in the regular season. Okay, which is a lot. All right, I do agree with that. That is a lot. And then 24, 14. He had 13 postseason sacks is insane.
Yeah. Oh, he had 13. So he had 51 sacks he took last year.
Wait a second. Why did he have 13? Am I missing something? Was that Packer game? The Ram game?
The Ram and Packer game. He got taken down a lot.
13 postseason sacks is absurd.
In what, 3 games? 4 games because he played a wild card.
And in 22, where there was 3 games, he had 4 sacks. Okay. So he had 4 years he's been in the playoffs. 2 sacks, 4 sacks, 3 sacks, 13 sacks.
Wow.
1 game played, 3 games played, 1 game played, 4 games.
I'm going to take that last year's 13 as just being something because if he comes back and does some shit like that again, then I think you guys are right. I think his snow game, he slipped once, guy grabbed him.
There's probably more context to him. I do remember the Ram game. Yeah, I read the Ram game. I guess he had a lot of sacks. He had 7 sacks versus the Rams.
Yeah, that's the weather game, right?
7, 10, 11.
It was snowing, right?
He had 2 sacks a game and 2 sacks in the Super Bowl, 2 sacks in the NFC title game, 2 sacks in the divisional, and 7 sacks versus the Rams in the snow. So obviously his worst game in the playoffs was the Rams.
All right. I want to, hey, by the way, guys, please hit the like button here. We appreciate you guys. So my good friends at WIP and I talked to, get this, you know who I'm becoming friends with? I'm trying to get on the program.
Who's
Hugh
that?
Douglas. You like Hugh?
I love Hugh.
Do you?
He's one of my favorite guys on the radio.
Guess who hooked me up with him?
Who's that? I don't think they would let him on here.
Howard.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Howard reached out to him, and he goes, I'd love to do it. Let me see if I can find time to do a couple minutes for you. Now,
Hugh's dope, man. Hugh's good. I like Hughes a lot. I like Hugh a lot.
And he gave me a cell phone number. So
he brings a lot of reason.
So,
there.
They named the top coaches, and I'm not going to go through 32 coaches in the NFL here, but they named the coaches. And Hugh had a problem with this. He rifled it over to me. So here are the top 10 coaches in the NFL, according to his show. Andy Reid 1, Sean McVay 2, Kyle Shanahan 3, John Harbaugh 4, Sean Payton 5. This is the flagship of the Eagles.
Who made this list? Hugh?
His partner.
Yeah.
Andy Reid 1.
Who's his partner? Gilio? Oh,
it's
God.
Yes. Hugh goes, take a look at this list. What do you think? I said, well, I got a problem with the third guy. Andy Reid, Sean McVay 2, Kyle Shanahan 3, John Harbaugh 4, Jim Harbaugh 6, Dave Campbell 7, Nick Sirianni 8, Kevin O'Connell 9, and Mike Vrabel 10. No Tomlin even in the top. And I even would have put D'Amico Ryans maybe over Dan. I don't know, man. I like D'Amico a lot. I may have put Pete Carroll in that top 10. What do you make it? Do you think that's fair to have Nick number 8?
No. I don't.
Okay, let me read it one last
Why,
time.
wait a second. Why would I think that's fair?
Hang on here. Andy Reid.
He's accomplished more than most of that list in 4 years, and most of them have a way longer career than him.
Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, John Harbaugh 4, Sean Payton 5, Jim Harbaugh 6, Ed Campbell 7, Nick Sirianni 8, Kevin O'Connell 9, and Mike Vrabel 10. Now, for me, I would probably put I'd go this way. I'd go Andy Reid 1. I'd go John McVay 2. I'd go John Harbaugh from Baltimore 3. I'd go Tomlin 4. I'd go Peyton 5. I would go Jim Harbaugh 6, and then I'd go Nick 7. And I would put Carroll 8. And I would put Shanahan 9 and Campbell 10. That's how I would go. I put him in that list there that way. Where would you put Nick?
Nick 2.
2.
I'm putting Nick 2. I mean,
Why over McVay? McVay's more accomplished.
Well, I think Nick has been better in the 4 years that he's been here than McVay has been in the last 4 years. I mean, overall, McVay probably has better resume.
He won the first 4 years. He won an NFC title and a Super Bowl.
Well, Nick went to 2 NFC titles in the Super Bowl.
I know he's got 4 conference. He's got 4 division titles.
Well,
he's got 8 total now.
Lesser division, but yeah, I mean, they were good.
Well, we're talking accomplishments.
All right. Well, I got Nick. You can have Sean.
And plus, he has a job. He's a play caller. Okay, I mean, so there's a difference too. I mean, and by the way, I think both organizations have done a great job in the last 8 years. You would say that both the Rams and the Eagles are pretty compatible, right? They've both been the same amount of Super Bowls. They both have won the same amount, and they got coaches that have won a bunch of division titles, right? Right? They're pretty compatible. Would you not say?
No, I agree with that.
All right. Guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. Dan, let's get to some of these super chats here, man.
All right, let's do it. It's a football Friday. Let's see what people got. Yeah, Kimberly says, Kimberly, what's up, Kimberly? New profile picture. What, you got a painted face there with Georgia Bulldog on it? Kimberly, get that profile picture out of here. Took Brady 10 years to win. I bet they said the same. I'm okay with winning football, a team sport. Who will be remembered in history, not in the Hall of Fame?
Kimberly, Tom Brady won in his second year. Tom Brady won a Super Bowl in his second year as a starting quarterback. He didn't win in year 10. That was Michael Jordan.
She's saying, I guess, after the first couple, but
okay, all right. Well, there was
that's still. I mean, what do you have 3 before then?
Dude, I think he had 2.
No, 3.
He had 3.
He had 3. Okay. Then he had 10 years. Then he won 3 more in New England. Remember, in 18, 16. Did he win in 16 before the Eagles?
I know. There was 2 back-to-backs, right? They had 2 back-to-back years.
16, 18, 19, I thought.
Something like that, yeah. By the way, for the record, too, Dan Campbell, you put Dan Campbell in the top 10 coaches in the NFL?
Yeah, I would.
Really?
I would. Yeah, New England won in 2017, so the 16 season. They won in 2019, so the 18 season. So they sandwiched in our Super Bowl win, and they also won in 2015 versus Seattle.
All right. You know, I asked you this question yesterday. I asked you this question yesterday. What does Nick have to do to take to have the naysayers go away?
I don't know. You tell me. You're a naysayer. I mean, with a guy like Cataldi, it'll never happen. So who gives a shit? Don't try and please him. Guy can never be pleased, especially an Italian guy who can't be pleased. That's just how
Holy
they
cow.
are.
Look at this here, man.
It doesn't matter how much you give them. If their sights are set on cannot be pleased, then
holy shit, man. Did you hear this guy? He must be hanging around too many Italians. Hey, Mrs. Krauss, he's taking a shot at your side of the family over there, man.
My mom's a legend. She's a legendary Italian. 24 Birds says, how bad for the defense are the losses of players like Josh Sweat and CJ? Well, Sileo will tell you the world is falling and might as well not even take the football field next year. I tell you, we're going to be all right.
Yeah, because everybody on the Eagles is going to have an iconic year.
Jalen will, Saquon will, offensive line will, Jalen Carter will.
So you think Jalen Hurts had a great year last year?
No, I don't think he had a great year. I don't think he had to. I mean, I think he had a good – I mean, did you win a Super Bowl with shitty quarterback play? No, he wasn't shitty. But was he an MVP-level quarterback? No, he didn't have to be. He didn't have to be at all. So –
no luxury. Josh Sweat and Gardner Johnson's losses. How about this? So just in the amount of snaps you're going to have to cover. Let's just not even go to play. The amount of snaps you're going to have to cover for those players are going to be interesting to see on who covers them. Who do you think gets 800 snaps for Josh Sweat?
Well, I think Nolan's going to get a lot more. J-Lux is probably going to get 600. And you're probably then looking at
so you're by committee.
I guess the backup dudes. Backup.
So you're saying to me, one guy, so as he said just now, Sileo would tell you that its sky is falling. So he just said that they're going to cover it with committee. All right. So 3 dudes to replace one, folks. All right. Who's replacing 1,100 snaps in safety? Committee, right?
No, Makuba. Andrew
Makuba. Makuba. Oh, my God, man. I can't. You know what? I am so looking forward to this year because I know my takes this year are going to be iconic. Oh, my God.
You're in a rut. You're in a rut.
You better not drop that Cowboy game.
Your offseason has already been a rut.
My offseason has been, as usual, with conviction. You see, folks, the difference with big
conviction doesn't matter if you're wrong.
Get this. Yes, it does. Because then you have to be held accountable when you're wrong, too, which I've been doing for 40 fucking years of broadcasting. This is last year, I won't lie, of my 40-year broadcasting. Last year was pretty bumpy.
Yeah, you keep saying. I'm sure it was your worst year.
It was bumpy at the end. It wasn't bumpy during the season because the quarterback kept going like, here's the greatest asset the quarterback had. You know what you do? This is like a guy when he's sitting people at a theater. Here's Jalen Hurts at a theater. Sit over here, please. Aisle 4.
Remember I told you I got the window air?
Aisle 5.
Remember I told you I got the window air?
Aisle 7.
I got a stupid notification on the thing at 1:45 today that I need a new filter in it for it to work. The show's starting, so I can't go to Home Depot. Now I got no air. Now I'm listening to this asshole shit on our quarterback and coach. I mean, I'm not in a good mood for a football Friday.
Getting on your boy. Your boy was excellent last year. Please, aisle 4. Aisle 5.
I need a new filter on my dang LG.
Boy, I'll tell you.
Window
as long as Saquon Barkley's in your backfield, that kid will never have a Super Bowl, or excuse me, he'll never have an MVP type season ever.
Fake news.
He will never play MVP. John's right. Because it's going to be style of play that will
I love how you selectively use Johnny Mac. It's like good cop, bad cop. When you can use him to your advantage, man, you use him. You use him.
I don't know.
JAKIB really is a shit brand, man.
I don't know what you're fucking talking about, but okay. Dude, look at you, man. You know what, man?
I'm sweating. I'm like I'm not in a good mood. Like you're not giving me topics that I like because you're just shitting on my coach and my quarterback, and both of them are highly successful.
Dude,
Both of them are highly paid. Both of them are winners. I got nothing bad to say about him.
That was not my fucking take on the. That was WIP saying that he was the 8th or 9th best coach. I didn't say that. Those guys took a shit on him. I think Nicky's fine.
It was stupid of them.
I mean, Nicky's fine.
Hey, Angelo's won you over, and let me tell you, that's the wrong guy to have win you over.
Absolutely, really. A guy who was the #1 sports talk show host in the history of Philadelphia sports talk.
Doesn't mean he was right.
Wait a minute. Hang on here.
Doesn't mean he had good sports takes.
That's not the right guy. Okay.
Doesn't mean he had good sports takes. By the way, the landscape is changing. All you old heads go, oh my God, try about the radio. I don't give a shit about the radio business. Hey, come on.
No, I'm shitting on the radio business.
Fucking A. This guy's trying to tell me about the glory days or something. We're in the glory days, my friend. YouTube is here.
What we're talking about is the stuff that we do here now, which is conviction. Remember that, young pop?
Look at Howard. What up, Howard? Yes. Howard says, my take is if the offense gains 10 to 15% passing and Vicks keeps the defense above the top 15, we may lose more, but we're in the Super Bowl again. Good take.
Howard, I would say this to you. Yes. You know why? I don't believe the rest of the NFC. Xander, I threw this at. What
would 15% give you on 3,000 passing yards last year? It'd be like what, 3,450?
3,500. Now, Xander, check this out. I took the Eagles out of the conversation here. Rams, Bucks, Commanders, Lions, Green Bay. Sorry, dude. Even with your changes, I'm not impressed.
By who?
Those names.
Me neither.
I'm just not impressed.
Dude, we did the segment this morning on the NFC. The NFC is not that much better. Nobody really got better.
And get this. The Eagles walked back. But the teams
Whoa. They
did. They lost 5 starters.
No, that's a projection. That means it hasn't happened, right? Wait. You always tell me projection means it hasn't happened yet. They haven't walked back yet.
No. I didn't say that. I didn't say they weren't good. Oh, maybe I did. How about this? Okay, I'll walk this back and say this. You got 5 new starters. I don't know. You got 5 more questions.
I'd rather hear that than they walk back.
You got 5 more questions on defense than you did a year ago. I don't. Well, actually, 6 months ago.
Oh,
I don't. Xander's got them top 3.
BS.
Oh, wait, I have a question. So do you think the defense will be better, worse, or the same?
That's a trick question.
Is it?
It's better and the same is the same answer because they were #1 overall. So you can't really get better. So rule out better. If you say they say the same, it means you're going to be the #1 defense in football. Another trick question. And if I say worse, he's gonna shit on me for saying the team is going to get worse. See, I caught him in his trap. That was a BS question. I think they are a different looking unit. They're a younger unit. They have less proven players on the team, but their upside is higher than it was a year ago.
He just took a knife to the fucking question. He cut
yes, I did. I cut it up like a piece of steak.
He couldn't. Hey, folks, better, worse, or the same? It's a simple question. What do you think? Okay. It's a simple
better, worse, or the same, he says. I don't know, dude. Probably worse, but not that much worse.
Man, you not having AC, man, really fucking blows your brains out, doesn't it?
Yeah, look at me. I'm all red. I mean, I'm listening to this crazy Italian bitch about nothing. It's just not a good day over in the Xander studio right now.
I'm not bitching about shit here, man. I'm just trying to figure shit out here. Tomorrow.
It's hot here right now. What's the temperature in California at this time of the year?
90 right now.
90? What look at what it is today. I was just outside. I'm like,
hey, dude, tomorrow the Chargers report to camp.
I know. It's incredible. Yeah, it's 88 here right now.
Dude, tomorrow the Chargers are in training camp. Teams start reporting next week. Every single day they start reporting. Don't the Eagles report by the end of the weekend?
No, they report the following week.
Okay.
The Tuesday. 21? And then they're on the field the following Wednesday. So next week's our last week of content with no football for the Eagles.
And then after that, it's 2 weeks. You're going to have the Hall of Fame game.
And then you're going to have Eagles preseason, and then you're going to finish those 3 up pretty quickly. It's going to be the Tanner McBrady Bowl, and then you're going to be right there, man. September 4th. I think that's the Thursday after Labor Day.
Yes, that's right. That's the last cuts.
Yep.
Or actually, they don't have like a bunch of cuts anymore.
The Thursday after Labor Day, baby. Yes, everybody, we are starting the season because
what does John say? What does John say about the defense? What's his take on the defense?
He's riding pine on it like you are.
What do you mean riding pine?
Yeah, he's not ready to make a take, but they're not going to be as good. Oh, maybe top 10, top 12.
What's wrong with that take?
Because it's take a take. Are they going to be top 10 or not?
Well, I don't think. Well, here's why I say between 10 and 15. I don't think the difference between 10 and 15 is great.
All right. So if you're saying is that where you're locking in between 10 and 15? 10
and 15.
All right, good. I'm locking in top 5.
This. I don't think the difference between 5 and 10 is a lot.
I'm locking in top 5. If I'm wrong, I'll eat my crow. I'm locking in a top 5 unit.
Yeah, no way.
Okay.
Even if you brought your guys back a year ago, you'd be struggling to be a top 5 group.
We're going to be a top 5 unit.
Okay, I know you are. Hang on here. Let me show you. I want to show you one last thing here.
I'm awake. It's not 5 to 10. It's top 5.
The events and rankings. Okay, I'm going to show you here. This is why I say this here. So 2024, I want to make a point to you. Why I said the difference between 5 and 10 is not really anything to me, or the difference between 10 and 15. The 4th ranked total defensive team a year ago, or 5th ranked defensive team a year ago, was the Packers. They gave up 314 total offense or total defense. The difference with 10th, get this, the 10th was the Ravens. That's 324 yards a game. That's only 10 yards a game. That's the difference. The difference between 5 and 7 was 4 yards. So that's why when someone goes like this to me, well, Sills, that's a little low, 15. No, it's not.
You're like Humpty Dumpty, dude. You're sitting on the fence.
What do you mean? I don't think there's any difference between it.
Top 5.
The number 6 defense. What are we playing? Roulette?
They're going to be top 5.
Okay. No way.
No way. You're saying no way.
0 chance.
Okay. They got the best defensive tackle in football. They got the best linebacker in football, and they have 2 of the best young secondary players in football.
Okay. Great. Okay. You don't have the same unit. Run this by. You don't have the same unit.
No shit. Every year.
No shit. Well, that's not going to be top 5. And AC's getting to your brain. It's rotting it. You need some cool beverage, kid.
Look, I got this guy. I feel like a chick. I didn't even want to pick it up on the segment. I was made this iced coffee, and it's got a straw in it. Like I don't drink out of straws, but I can't drink from this big ass jug.
You're like a fucking aristocrat drinking out of a straw, aren't you?
I just drink some iced coffee
out of a straw.
I don't do straws. I'm with you.
Holy shit! I'm surprised your pinky's not up.
I used to go to a restaurant when we would eat out, and I would say, no straws, no straws. My mom would be like, "What, are you drinking out of their dirty ass cup?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't give a shit. What the hell? Kidding me? That's why I don't get sick, Sills. I've been never afraid of anything."
Yeah.
Everybody's like, you know who get a kick. I'm sure we got plenty listening right now. They're like, they keep the hand sanitizer at their desk, in their car, in their house, next to their bed. They wake up and they squeeze hand sanitizer on their hands. I'm like, you guys are killing yourself. You guys can't handle any germs. Holy crap, the world's a little dirty. Get a little used to it. How about you? You got an immune system for a reason.
That's fucking hilarious, man.
It's like me battling off the heat, baby. It's not easy, but I can do it.
But hey, I've been screaming the Eagles, man. Like in Tampa, I went like this. There's not a chance in hell that the Bucs are beating that team in week 4. They're like, oh wait, I go, not a chance. You lose Tristan Wirfs, you are fucking not beating that team,
dude.
I go, that guy Nolan Smith is gonna smash and end your season. I did. Hey, I went like this. The Eagles are gonna end your season week 4.
All right, if they're top 5, which I proclaimed.
Defense, Eagles.
Wait a second. Not only did I proclaim it here.
Holy shit, he's got the book now. Here comes the fucking book.
Yeah, you want me to be an aristocrat? I'll be.
Holy cow, this guy's got a book like he's Moses.
Yep. All right, here we go. 3/24/25. Back in what was that? March. It's now July. Locate. Boom. Number 4 in Xander's bold predictions for 2025. The Eagles defense will finish top 5 in the NFL. And for those who don't believe me, there's my list of bold predictions. Okay, you nerds, call that consistency. And when it hits, you'll be back here calling me Nostradamus.
Hey.
And I'll be calling him Nostradamus.
Watch this, guys. That book is going to be his undoing this year.
Oh, we'll see.
No,
We'll see, because I got your – wait a second. Let me load it back up. I got your bold predictions in here too, big guy. And let me tell you, they don't look too good.
Okay, go ahead. Let me hear them.
This was Sileo's. Eagles, 11 wins. Terrible.
Okay.
Commies will win the NFC East. Not happening. Tight ends will have 4 touchdowns. That's a shitty take overall. Who cares about how many touchdowns the tight ends have? Saquon, under 1,400 yards. He's already moved off the pot on that one. He's now saying 16, 1,700.
Yep.
Jalen, under 4K and 30 touchdowns. Probably be wrong on that one. Number 6, Jalen Hunt, more than Nolan Smith. Will have more sacks than Nolan Smith. So he just told me Jalen Hunt wasn't going to be good enough to replace Sweat, but he also predicted him being better than Nolan. Moro and Jomo to the Pro Bowl. You predicted Moro and Jomo to the Pro Bowl.
I did?
How are you saying that the defense is getting worse if you're predicting a Pro Bowl player stepping in for
I said Moro Jomo Pro Bowl? Huh.
Yes, number 7.
I love that. I got to remind myself of that one. Okay.
Number 8, Jalen Carter, under 9.5 sacks. He's a defensive tackle. It's a shit take. And number 9, Cooper DeJean will make all pro. So he's got Jalen Hunt being better than Nolan Smith, a Jomo going to the Pro Bowl, and Cooper DeJean making all pro, but our defense is going to stink.
No,
Come on, guys.
I didn't say
Come on.
Bro, you can have all those things happen and still finish 13th or 14th or 15th.
What's the thing when you're a little kid and your mom brings you?
Bro, let me hook you up.
What's that thing
the
called?
Chances of you doing what you did a year ago
are
0.
What's the thing called? You get on and it's a single horse. And you're like 5 years old. And you put the quarter in and it goes around. What are those things called? Cells, what are those things called?
What?
You get on the horse and your mom puts the little quarter in the machine and it starts to go around at the state fair. What's it called?
A merry-go-round? I don't know.
Yeah, a merry-go-round. That's Big Sills.
Carousel.
That's Big Sills. He's on the merry-go-round. It's 3 months later and the guy's takes are completely different.
Because you know why? The team has changed, my friend.
Yeah, right. You look at my takes, my top 10 bold predictions. I'll stand by every one of them.
You bet, and that book's going to be your undoing.
Okay, we'll see. I'll take a picture.
No. I know this because the chances of you having what you had happen to you a year ago are on the big guy's side. Remember that. How you doing? Chances of him repeating never happen. Yeah, dude, I'd be stunned if you make it to Santa Clara.
Look at Ernie. Ice cold. I know it's a little. I guess I can't.
With a straw too, Ernie.
I can't say that word. I probably can't say that word in the air.
Ernie, you're listening to a guy give you a take with iced coffee and a fucking straw.
I don't want to show all you fuckers.
Big C,
it's a little. I guess I probably can't say that word, the one I'm thinking of. But yeah, it's a little.
Listen, what do you got? What do you got planned this weekend?
I'm actually going to my brother's place, so I'm going to go see my brother.
Up in New York?
North Jersey. Yep.
North Jersey. All right. Big Z, next week, man, we're getting closer and closer.
I can't wait, dude. I'm ready.
Xander's going to be
drinking. Let's set the table for something next week. Okay? Let's set the table for something next week. All right. Because you have literally changed on all of your predictions. No. Let's redo them next week. Okay. And I'll give you a chance to set the record straight for the 2025 season on what you believe the Eagles
will do that Monday.
Because if you don't put out there what you believe the team is going to be and get off the merry-go-round, then we're never going to know how to hold your feet.
Okay. All right. Listen, we will do that Monday. I will give my revised 2025 Philadelphia Eagle takes, and I'll say this: 11 wins. I'll stand by that. Commanders winning the East. I'll stand by that. Hurts not having 4K and 30. I'll stand by that one. Jalen Hurts having more sacks than Nolan. I'll stand by that one. Cooper DeJean making All-Pro. I'll stand by that one. So we'll add a few more on Monday.
All right.
Not with any of those
We'll do a couple more. I might have a few more for you guys too. I might even have a few because 10 hitting on all 10 of mine might not be enough for everybody to know how dominant I have been in my sports.
How dominant.
But I will put out a couple more even for you guys.
Holy cow, get the fuck out of here.
It's truth.
Well, hey, I don't have a problem with anything I've said here so far here. The Moro Joma one, I'm going to have to maybe revamp that sucker.
Yeah, you might want to.
I must have had a couple too many Coronas there or something. I don't know. Maybe I was stoned or something.
This guy put Moro Jomo in the
I know, I'm going to have to.
March.
I'm going to have to sit there and revamp that.
A couple months later, he's been telling you for weeks he's going to be a stiff.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I must have been high when I did that. So I'm going to have to revamp.
On a wall.
I'm going to have to revamp. But the rest of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, no, I'll stick to the ones. 11 wins. Yeah.
I got a feeling this is going to be one of the most fun football seasons we've ever had in Philadelphia.
Hey, let me ask you this. Don't you think that Eagle fans now have done this now? They had such a great year. They took the off season off and went,
yeah,
man, here we are. And now we're going to roll into July, and then we're going to roll into September. We're going to tee
this is going to be a better year because last year, even up through the end, I think everybody felt like the 2023 collapse was still lingering. Like at any moment, could this team fall off? And they finished the job in dominant fashion. And I think now all Eagles fans across the country know, and across the world, excuse me, we got plenty in the UK, plenty in Australia, plenty all over the world, especially listeners here on JAKIB Sports. I think they all know what time it is. And it's belt to ass time, baby.
Do you think
the Eagles are going to come in and deliver belt to ass?
Were you surprised more by this Super Bowl or by the 17 one?
Well, I don't know. That's tough. I mean, they won with a backup quarterback in 17. I don't know.
You won with one dimension running the ball. I mean, I didn't.
Yeah, but
I didn't. When you won the Raven game, if you remember right, when you won the Raven game, I went, holy shit, man.
Oh, yeah, when Cooper DeJean planted Derrick Henry.
When you beat the Ravens like that, I went, holy shit. That's when I went like this. They may run this thing. I really did. I thought the Ravens were going to beat
I think Hurts and Sirianni bring a better sense of confidence to this team now.
I get the thing with Hurts, but the guy with Sirianni, I don't know, man. I mean, holy shit, man. Sirianni. As
soon as I get off this show, man, I am going to drink from that straw like you've never seen anybody drink from a straw before.
Xander.
I'm sweating bullets, man. I'm sweating bullets. And it's 90 degrees. This wall right here is like paper.
You don't have central air now?
No.
I think
wait, so this is fun. I grew up no central air. All right. And we have heat, but that's basically just to make sure the pipes don't freeze. It's certainly not to heat the house. All right. So that's why in the wintertime, when I do my shows, it's I'm in sweatshirts and shit because it's freaking cold, man. This home is old. But so my girlfriend, she grew up in obviously not homes like I grew up in. We got more super chats to read, by the way. I didn't get them all. So, I have no problem when the house is a little higher than normal, right? But she's like she can't take it for like a minute. So it's funny.
Hold on, I got one for you. My aunt, right?
Yeah.
Let me tell you this. So my Uncle Chuck is this old German dude. So I got to tell you this. She's gonna kick my ass for this. You ready for this? Wintertime comes in Connecticut. He don't turn the heat on, and the house is like 48 degrees. Yeah. My aunt sleeps in a parka.
Dude, that's honestly though for those.
My aunt's like I won't tell you her age, but get this, she don't look her age. And I go, well, shit, when you're freezing your ass off for 50 years, your skin's not going to break.
It's true. Wait a second.
She looks like Nefertiti.
No, too. For those who know, there's nothing like a sleep when it's cold as shit.
No. This is like it's like 3 out. And the house is like 40. And my aunt looks like she's Nefertiti, where they embalmed her. And she's like, there's no wrinkles or anything. My grandfather used to go nuts on that, man. My aunt had no heat.
This book right here holds the keys to the kingdom.
The book of, hey, you know what that is? The book of bullshit.
No, it ain't. This is the great topics that I've come up with all off season that you've been using as well.
Good.
And it also contains
it's showing
some
in your
of the shittiest predictions you'll ever hear from Big Cells.
Hey, wait, get this, folks. He actually, again, very entertaining. Yes, and the only problem that he has with John, every topic he brings up, I don't fucking go down that lane. And then Xander has to massage it like he's massaging like his girlfriend's neck or something. John, come on, we have to talk about this. And John's like, well, I don't go down that lane. Good man, John. I got to tell you, man, you do a nice job. It's really, guys, make sure you check the show out.
Thanks,
Phil. Great job, man.
It is a good show, man. We've been doing good this summer. I've been proud of what we've been able to accomplish.
Yeah, no, you're killing it.
Especially with the parameters that we have on the show. So, Steven, I got to apologize for you, man. He had a super chat yesterday that we missed.
Oh, really?
I put it in the chat. Actually, I'll read it now, Steven, now that I know you're in here. And I put in the chat. I'll get to it for you after the break. And then I never fucking clicked
it. Man.
So, my bad, Steven. All right, let me read a couple because we got more supers. I didn't get through them all. JD3 says, very excited for Jahad Campbell's career starting under Vic. I think he can have a DeJean-like impact. Have a good weekend, fellas. Agreed.
He's a great football player, man. If you watched him play at Alabama, if you guys remember one thing I said, and I got talked out of it, because they don't go down the linebacker drafting lane, and they're all right. I was like, how's this guy not a Vic Fangio player? He does everything he wants, the versatility. If he comes back healthy, which I believe he will because he's young. If he's older, that's more of a convo. But I think he's going to have a great impact on the Eagles going over the years because I think he's a really good player. I would make this point to you, Xander. I think he's a top 13 player. And you got him at 30.
Let's see what happens with him. I think he's going to have a great year, though. I do. And I'm happy with what you said, JD3, that he gets to learn from Vic early in his career.
Absolutely.
All right, here we go. Steven, I got you. I'm going to pull up your other one from yesterday, too, so I can read that to you. Read that because I don't let super chats go. And Steven's kind enough to contribute to our show, so we appreciate him very much. Absolutely. Let me find the super chat from yesterday before I read out this one. Super chats, where they got them. Super chats from yesterday.
By the way, guys, thank you guys so much on this.
Got it. All right. So, Steven, I'll read yours today first. He says, so when we have 3 starters injured, it's an excuse. But when Tampa has 1 starter out, they are expected to lose. Great take.
So when
everybody holds Jalen's feet to the fire for the first 4 games last year, we were missing Lane, AJ, and Devontae for multiple games each. And Tampa loses Tristan Wirfs, and Philly is already writing them off.
Yeah, but Tampa's not as talented as you. You guys are missing the boat.
You're right about that.
You're the Super Bowl fucking champions. It's a lot different when you lose. When you guys lose when they lose 1 player, their roster's nowhere near your roster. When you guys lose 3, you're still in the room. These teams cannot afford to lose 1 or 2 players. They're not that good.
Yeah.
They're just not as talented.
That's fair. So yesterday, Steven's $2 super chat, he sent in. Thank you, Steven. Goff threw 3 picks and got sent home. So when we were talking about Goff in the playoffs, he said Goff threw 3 picks and got sent home. LOL.
Right. Goff has to play great for the team to win. Yeah. Jalen doesn't.
Steven, you can toss that dude in the trash juice pile.
Remember this, Steven. Quarterbacks in every team in the league, except for 1, don't have to play well every week.
If you'll excuse me, I have to move my head over this way so I can take a sip of my I will not put that on camera. I will not put that on camera for everybody to see.
Hey, folks, this guy's got to take some nourishment. He's like Donut Davis right now. He needs nourishment, or he's not going to be able to continue.
I will not do that on the camera. Okay. Steven, thank you for the supers, brother. I appreciate it.
You'll never have a picture of Xander sucking something through a straw. That's not going to happen. I love it.
It's like going to bars with dudes. I just don't drink from straws. So,
bro, I don't go to bars with dudes.
All right, here we go. We got a couple more supers. Let me get to them. Kyle, what's up, Kyle? He says, Sills, last year we had 2 players from the Jets. One bought into what we were doing and one didn't. Mekhi Becton and Bryce Huff. Good take, Kyle.
And I'll tell you why, Kyle. Think of this for a second. Look at the 2 style of coaches that you had. They were pretty similar in Stoutland and in Vic in telling them the way it is. This comes down to player. One guy didn't want to hear it. One guy wanted to hear it, wanted to be coached. Remember, Becton said he wanted to come here because of Stoutland. Remember, the other guy came here. Why? He came here because they gave him a $17 million contract. He felt entitled. There was a difference in mentality.
Now Hufflepuff
Becton wanted his career to change and turn around.
Hufflepuff is already he's already on 49ers podcast excusing why he was a total trash hitter.
He sucks.
Dude, that guy's mentality
he quit on the Eagles.
He's a shitty mentality. That's what that was. It was a truly shitty mentality.
Oh, well, look at Becton. Becton's crying on the sidelines about the success of the team.
Yeah.
And this guy's moaning about, well, they didn't like me right away.
And by the way, Becton signed a prove-it deal for $3 million, and Bryce Huff was making 17. Character matters, folks.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially when you're trying to coach a guy like that.
100%. Character matters. Don't let anybody tell you it doesn't. All right. That's all the supers.
Man, you need some AC, bro. You need some fucking air conditioning, man.
What are you talking about? I took you to the woodshed.
Because some of those fucking shitty takes of yours today.
I took you to the woodshed again.
I mean, like a fucking absolute.
How are you going to recover from this?
That fucker's like the book of
How do you do 35 years of sports talk?
Only like 35, almost.
Only to get to this point, and you get taken to the woodshed by a young grasshopper.
Don't worry, it's never going to happen here. I'm excited about this kid too. I think he's a really good ball player. I do. I think that kid's going to be a good impact player. What about this one here?
We got 2 of them here. Wait, let me read Philly Locks first because Leon's going off the rails. Philly Locks says, excited for Smile Monday. I kind of like him too, but we'll see. I don't think he's going to.
I like him more than Trotter.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
I do. I think he's more athletic than Trotter.
I am excited for him. He was a pretty good player at Georgia, Philly Lock. By the way, appreciate you being here. I don't know if you're new to the channel, but I've seen your name a couple times the last couple of days. Good to have you in here, my man. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Leon checks in. He says, I'm about to head to Ocean City right now. Which one, New Jersey or Maryland? Looks like Maryland. I lost my virginity 15 years ago in Ocean City. Wild times, man. I'll never forget it. It was after graduation. Love Maryland.
Hey, Leon, you probably lost your virginity in the crab shack. Let me guess.
Where'd you lose it to? Your right hand, you nerd?
Hey, Leon, where in the crab shack?
Oh gosh,
hey, Leon,
I'm sweating over here. You're dropping super chats like that? Are you kidding me, dude?
He dropped his virginity in the crab shack.
Oh, my mommy was down in OC today. I was supposed to go there today. I couldn't make it happen. I'm going to my brother's tomorrow, so I'm like,
we got one more up here too, man. What do you think here? This one.
Oh, here we go. What's up, East Coast Rico? I love this guy's name, East Coast Rico. It's just a good name. Flows. He says, what's a Campbell ceiling, Reddick or better? I think better, but different. Different.
Better because he'll be more versatile. You'll be able to play him inside and outside, and he's going to be a 3-down guy. Reddick was not a 3-down guy. Reddick couldn't drop. Reddick couldn't cover, and Reddick could barely make tackles. He's not a really great tackler. He's a great pass rusher. And I think this kid Campbell's way better. He'll be better. That's one of the difference, Xander, that was in the defense a year ago compared to the 22 team. You were such a great tackling team a year ago. In 22, I never really thought you were that great a tackling team in open space.
Well, we weren't, yeah. I mean, it was a softer mentality team.
I think last year's team was – Cooper and Q were great in open space tackling. I never thought Bradbury – and who was the kid, Epps? I never thought those guys were
Yeah,
great.
they weren't great. No, I agree. Yeah, Mommy, I was down in Ocean City the day after the 4th of July. I went down to see my girlfriend and her family. That place, when that place is busy, I mean, you can't move around there. It's ridiculous.
Boardwalk?
I wasn't on the boardwalk. I just driving in. I went in at the exit 25, which is the 34th Street entrance. Mommy. I mean, I was on the damn entrance where they had that big liquor store. I was on that road for 30 minutes. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm going half a mile. But, I was in the C8, so I was chilling. I was happy.
Hey, let me get this, man. When you drive when you go towards the south end of that one road that they have, you can't fucking turn around down there, bro.
Know, it's busy down there. There's a lot of people.
Near that hotel?
That's kind of the closest big town to the city. Yeah. So it's a lot of extra tourism in that town. Like Cape May's at the end. It's exit 0. So you only have people going to Cape May who are more, I don't know, trying to go there for a reason versus people will day trip to Ocean City. But
did we get them all?
We got them all.
All right, man. I know you're dying of the heat right now. I mean,
I'm not dying.
Hey, by the way, you better take your fucking book with you. By the way, you better take your book with you and put it in your bed and put it under your pillow, because you better pray that those fucking things come to fruition, because you got some awful fucking takes in that book.
No, I don't. I got great takes. You got
shit, man. You watch this, folks. So my boys, the Commanders, are going to win that division, and he's going to.
You're lucky this book wasn't activated last season, because you would be in big trouble.
No, I wouldn't have. I know
this book could. This book, you. No wonder you're attacking the book. I see what he's doing, everybody. The book will reveal the Sileo lies.
He thinks. No, I told you.
Yes, it will. The book reveals the Sileo lies.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those takes. I'm gonna stand on them. I'm all right.
Oh yeah.
Okay, the Majomo one, I'm going to kick to the curb, but I fucking rest of them, I'm going to kick in there and stay in there, Junior.
East Coast, I got my name from running through the city. Look at that.
What's that?
I got my name from running through the city, he says. East Coast, you were serving them up in the city or what?
I was chasing you, Ice.
East Coast, don't take that bullshit. All right. This guy left the East Coast and moved to Cali. There's plenty of ammo there.
Oh, God forbid. The book.
Plenty of ammo there.
I got to come up with the name for the book. The book. What do you think? I'm going to come up with a fucking name for that thing. Look at this thing. It's black, too. Holy cow. It's like Moses. St. Augustine's a great place, man. Okay. The whole I can't think of
St. Augustine. My oldest sister who lives in Florida got married in St. Augustine. That's a cool spot.
Beautiful, man. It's
beautiful. She got married at the big Catholic church down there. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Hey,
next to Flagler University.
Absolutely.
It's a good spot, Abe. You should have a nice weekend, my man.
You were down there then, yes?
I wasn't. She got married in 2019, 2020. What's it now?
St. Augustine is great. I can't think of the hotel that's next to the Golf Hall of Fame, but it's exceptional. I can't think if it's a Marriott or not. They got a great golf course there, because the Golf Hall of Fame is in St. Augustine. So there's some pretty great accommodations. There's some great
that school that's there too, Abe, is pretty cool looking campus. It's right by the beach. It's cool, man. Yep. There's some sort of venue there, or not venues, some sort of like old, like historic. I don't know if it's
it's a fort.
Yeah, a fort. Right, that's there. I remember walking around that. So it's cool, man. It's cool. It's a cool spot. I think you should enjoy it, Abe.
Actually, it's an old Civil War fort from the Confederacy.
Abe, where are you heading there for? You and your girl going down there? You flying down there? I think you're in North Carolina, right, Abe?
Yeah, that's really a fantastic.
Oldest city in America. That's pretty cool.
Yep, absolutely, man.
Yeah,
it's one of the really great places to go. Big Z, you make sure you have yourself a great and make sure you get your pen all sharpened.
Yeah, we got to start having some wagers on this shit.
All right.
Some sort of wagers. Doesn't have to be monetary, but it has to be something, because some of these takes are just putrid by you.
Oh shit, you're awful with your takes. I mean, you have some of the worst fucking takes I've ever heard.
Look at Brian. Xander's Book of Revelations. You know what they say? That's the scariest book, Brian, the book of Revelations. Okay. Holy moly.
Don't write his takes in a book. You got to read them afterward and remember what he meant. Hey, Prince. Dude, new material, guy. You're just not very funny, man.
Prince, that was literally hilarious, Prince. That's a great super
Hey, Prince, I'm going to send you back to fucking lockup. I'm going to have the ice guys come and get you. And I'm going to have Christine Nome, too, by the way, who's smoking. How you doing, man? You know, remember, she was there, what was it, Montana? She was like the governor of Montana.
I know who you're talking about.
She's a smoke machine, man.
I will not lock on this show over some governor. I don't give a shit.
God dang, what a Philly guy. The heat is getting to this guy, man. Holy shit, man.
All right. Can you get me out of here?
You have a great weekend, brother.
Prince, I'm not mad at you. I love you, Prince. You know that. All right. You love me.
God.
I know it's revelation. I was reading his comment, unapologetic Christian.
Oh my God. Prince is one of these guys. Don't get upset with me.
Prince, that was stone cold hilarious. That's the comment of the day right there, actually.
Oh my God. Oh my.
Guy writes his takes down, can't even read them back to himself.
Oh my God. I don't have to read my takes back. You know why? I'm the greatest to ever do this.
No, you're not. If track record matters, which you don't think it does, that's why you don't use Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni's as credit for them. If track record mattered at all, I'm like,
if track record mattered, I'm one of the greatest ever lived doing this. If track record mattered, I'm truly one of the greatest that has ever lived. Hey, I got one.
You must have lived a different life before you started talking about the Eagles, because you've been wrong about you were wrong about Smitty, you were wrong about Saquon, you were wrong about AJ, you were wrong about Jalen, you were wrong about Quinyon, you were wrong about Bond, you were wrong about the defense, you were wrong about Nick Sirianni, you were wrong about Howie Roseman, you were wrong about Jeffrey Lurie, you were wrong about Jalen Hurts. You've been wrong about them all.
I have not been wrong about Zach Bond at all. Vic Fangio didn't know what he had. So the New Orleans Saints were wrong. By the way,
you guys will never let me live this down now.
Yeah, that's right.
Let me slide out of the frame once more. Okay?
Yeah, go drink your fucking drink with a straw.
Let me slide out of the frame once more.
Get the fuck out of here, man. I'm about to throw up here now, man. Hey, man, have yourself a great time, okay? And be prepared on Monday, because we're going to put down our Stone Cold Lead Pipe locks for 2025 on your team.
All right, let's do it.
Okay?
I will be more than ready.
Will you?
Yes.
Get your book and have it ready.
Oh, my book is ready. I will be dedicating its own page in the book to the Stone Cold Lead Pipe locks on the show on Monday. So everybody better be here, because I'll be delivering the goods once again. Stephen Jones will be on the program on Tuesday. So nice. We got his ass coming up. It's like time he wins something, or like it's like, yo, the 1990s ended a long time ago, Stevie. Yeah. Okay. And by the way, guess who else we got lined up? Who you got? We got Rich McKay lined up, and he was guy anti-tush push. Oh, that's right. You better go him. Hey, he's the chairman of the. Don't pull me up when he's on. Get rid of the push. Football play. Okay, Rich. Okay, Rich. Talk about books. Wait a minute. He is the head of the competition committee. I know what he is. He's the chairman of it. So, and president of the Falcons. So we got him lined up. No wonder he's an NFC stiff trying to catch up with the Eagles. NFC South stiff. Get it right. I don't care what he is. NFC South. Who cares? Hey, all right, dude. You're overheated right now. There's no doubt. I really am. Like, I might faint when I get off here. Yeah, I'm holding up on by a thread. I'm just kidding. I never am going to faint. I'm never holding on by a thread. In fact, I could go for another hour if you want me to. Keep beating your ass to a pole. Oh my God! Will you please, man? Beat your ass to a pole. Put you in a sippy cup. Grab a straw and start going. Yeah. The day you see me in a sippy cup, look at him. He's struggling. Wait a second. For all the losers who were mad at me about my straw, you guys never had a Capri Sun? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, bend over. You ever had a Capri Sun? How about you, Como Sayama? Huh? How about you, Como? Yeah, that's right. Every last one of you had a Capri Sun.
Oh
It's the
God.
ultimate drink of a child is a
Hey.
Capri Sun.
Hey, Ben, my backside friend over. The only straw you ever had was up your nose. It's all good.
Capri Sun for life.
All
All right, Sills.
right, brother. You have yourself a great weekend, man. I will see you Monday.
Let me make sure we got all of our supers. We did. Okay, we got that one. All right, Sills. Great show, brother. I will catch you on a Monday edition. And how about this? Get your book ready.
Do I have to get a book? I think I got a book.
You just use loose leaf. Use like printer paper. Just grabs different pieces of printer paper, puts it in the paper shredder, and then he never remembers to take again. That's why, as I pulled up, guys like, wait a second, I predicted more of Joe to the Pro Bowl.
Okay, one of those takes is one I'll redo. The rest of them, I'll stay with them. I don't have a problem with anything I said there.
Okay, I'm giving you a free pass to revise and revamp your
I'm going
bold
to add.
predictions. You can revise any one of them.
I'm going to add.
Okay, we'll see.
Because I don't think any one of those is off page, except for the Ajoma one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 11 wins you'll have this year.
I'll be 10 for 10.
Because I'll tell you why. Barkley won't make the year if you give him the ball 420 times again.
You want me to rattle mine off one more time?
No, I don't. Because you're going to have new ones.
The Book of Revelations.
How about this? Over-under. Saquon Barkley has 350 carries this year.
350 carries regular season?
Yeah.
I'm going to say under. What do you have, 380 last year?
No, he had 400.
He had four something, but that was with playoffs.
I thought he had 400 regular season. No,
he had about 4.
Was it 386, like something like that?
Yeah, I think 386.
No. It was 345.
Right, 345.
It was.
So I'm going to say under. I
carries.
think he's 320, 300 to 320 this year.
Wow, he picked his carries up so much more in the postseason that he ended up with 467 carries.
Well, if you add in the catches as well.
Oh, okay.
I think he had 90 carries in the postseason, 91 or something.
Holy cow! In 4 games, man, he carried more of an average in the postseason, didn't he? During the regular season. All right, get that fucking book ready, man, because that book's gonna be on. You're gonna light that book on fire when this season's over, Junior.
I'm going to Home Depot. You can close the show out by yourself. I got to get a filter for this damn AC.
Look at this guy. All right, Big Z.
It's like 94. Dude, this is like a paper mache wall. It's coming right through me. I swear. It's like the sun is right there.
So wait a minute. Are you like in a small office?
Yeah, I'm in my studio. I got a little window thing right there.
So you have built the studio. You didn't build any air conditioning or anything. Why don't you get a fucking fan?
There's a fan. It's right there. Thing stinks. Doesn't do shit. That's why I got the AC unit in the window, which is normally a superb, supreme unit. The filter has kicked, and I have been working. I have not had the opportunity to put on my man shoes and go and replace the filter in my unit.
Let me show you how a man drinks a fucking drink.
Oh, yeah. Coke. That thing's giving you man boobs. What are you talking about? I ain't a man.
Don't sit there and fucking drink through a fucking weenie straw.
Every 12 Cokes, you're up a cup size.
I have 2 a day. That's it. I don't drink tons of Cokes. I'm not that
2 a day is a pretty hefty number, my friend.
2 a day, Cokes. Really?
Tell Diamond Dallas Page you have 2 Cokes a day. Wait, pull up that Coke. How many grams of sugar in that Coke? 30 grams?
See here.
That's a mini. It looks like a mini. Mini
it's
Coke.
Mini. Yeah, I look like I use something with a fucking mini. Calories. 140.
It's a mini Coke for mini Sills.
No, that's just my gigantic can. That's
Big Z and mini Sills. That's the new show.
Look at this. Look at my hand.
I got big ass hands too, dude.
I got.
All right. How many grams of sugar in the thing? 40? Yeah, calories, 45.
45?
Tell me it's 45.
I only see 140 calories.
No, look down the label. Guys never look at the label.
Sodium?
No, sugar.
76, 35. 38 grams.
38. drinking 80 grams of sugar a day and 2 Cokes. Come on, man. It's a lot of sugar.
It is.
Yeah, I'm aware. So I told you it's giving you moobs.
Hold on. Let me see if I opened up that thing yet. Hold on. No, I still
Ivan Dallas talks for an hour about going on his thing, and you can't click the link. And all I do is tell you to look at the sugar on your Coke. And
I'm gonna have to hit view here. There it is. I got to at least do that.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, dude, he gave me a password. There it is too. I'll have to do this after the show.
Yeah.
It says the first time, welcome.
Just drink seltzer water. It's good.
Holy shit. I like seltzer water too.
Just get the fake sodas they make nowadays, the Ollie Pops or whatever they are. They're good.
I just got called out. I just flipped it on. He goes, welcome. Well, way to go. And then it just said welcome. And I go, holy shit. It took me how many weeks now?
Koma Sayama, you might want to go back to the drawing board, brother. You had one of your worst days I've ever seen in the chat room. Tough one for you, Koma Sayama.
Holy shit here, man. Yeah. Holy cow. Yeah. I just got called. Okay.
All right, I'm getting out of here.
Me too.
I will say this, Jim. I might have chirped Sileo, but it is a premium American beverage, a nice Coke. It is.
You know what, though, bro?
I don't drink many.
I didn't realize it had that much sugar in it, though.
Yes, you must have. Don't you taste it every sip?
You think I fucking read labels on what I eat?
No, I'm not saying you read labels, but there's no way you didn't think there was sugar in the damn drink.
Hey, how much fucking calories are in this steak I'm about to devour?
I've never asked that in my life.
I don't act like that. I
don't either, but Whole Foods are good for you and baked foods
put
are
it in
not.
my face and fucking eat it. Here's you. Well, shit, that's going to maybe make my testicles shrink. So I'm not
Devin, look at Devin. He says, I start my day Mountain Dew and Reese's Cups. Been my breakfast for 5 years. Yeah, that ain't ideal, my friend.
Reese's peanut butter cups and a Mountain Dew. Hey, I'll tell you what, bro. What's next? Rocket fuel?
Yeah, really.
I mean, Mountain Dew is one of the most sugary.
So you're on the other side, so don't drink anything with stevia either, especially young men. All right, don't be drinking stevia; it castrates you. So don't be drinking that shit.
Yeah, big sales, man. I don't. It's kind of weird. I don't do that. Anyway, bro, have a good fucking weekend.
Holy crap, dude. I'm sorry. You just got taken to a woodshed on your own show.
Yeah, that's you see, folks. Every single guy from everybody thinks that they take Big Sills to the woodshed, and somehow there's Big Sills always being Big Sills. Never ends. Will never end. Well, I'll tell you what, man. Hey,
Silio's gonna wake up in the middle of the night, and he's gonna see this.
The book. Oh my God. Yeah, I'll see the no. What's gonna happen is that book will be let. Hey, here's a bet. I'll have to come up with something on my end, but you will light that book on fire. If the Commanders win the East, that book is lit on fire. On here.
I will light this book on fire and video it and post it on JAKIB.
Yes. Yep.
If the Commanders win the NFC East, which will never happen. Never.
Okay. Big Z.
Goodbye.
You have a great weekend, brother.
Goodbye. Love all you guys, man. Even you, Big Sills, and Aunt Betty, and all of the others. See you guys.
You got it, man. Have a great weekend, dude. I love you too, man. Absolutely. Make sure you guys hit the like button here. I got to do a timeout here. Guys, do me a favor, please. Check out my friends at Morgan & Morgan. #1 injury law firm in the United States of America for a reason. You know what it is? That's because they win. They win because they have attorneys from coast to coast, thousands of attorneys, for them to be able to win these cases for you because it's family owned, family run, and they make sure no matter what it is, getting hurt in an Uber, getting restitution if your insurance company ends up canceling you and you lose your home. This is what Morgan & Morgan, it doesn't matter what the case is, folks. These folks win. Insurance companies don't want to see Morgan & Morgan coming. Trust me when I tell you. And here's the #1 thing when you're talking about signing up for Morgan & Morgan. They don't get paid unless you win. It is Simple as that. Make sure you check out forthepeople.com/big sales or poundlaw529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or poundlaw529. And do me a favor, you tell them Big Sales sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Your financial future is on the line. Are you ready for what's next? At Leone & Company Wealth Management, we help young professionals, business owners, and pre-retirees navigate the complexities of building and protecting wealth. For young professionals, we'll help you grow your wealth, plan for your future, and make the most of your hard-earned dollars. For business owners, we provide strategies to protect your company, manage risks, and create a lasting legacy for both your business and personal wealth. For pre-retirees, we'll design a plan to secure your retirement, ensuring you can live comfortably and confidently in your next chapter. Whether you're just starting out, managing a thriving business, or preparing for retirement, we're here to help you take control of your financial future. The first consultation is on us. Get the advice you need without the cost. Let's make your financial vision a reality. Take the next step. Scan the QR code to schedule your free consultation today. And of course, go Birds.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on three. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong as the #1 health insurer in the region. No IBX is always looking out for you.
EAGLES, Eagles.
Big Sales National Football Show. Please hit the like button. I got to tell you something. I'm going to post an interview, and we have a commitment from Mr. DeBartolo to come on this program too. The only reason I had Eddie D on the Tampa show, he lives in Tampa, and there was conversation about him maybe buying the Tampa Bay Rays. And I'm going to post the interview on my Twitter account or my X account after the program. Do you know what he said about Major League Baseball, why he never considered buying? And his dad was considering buying the Chicago White Sox. You want to hear what he said? He said that Bowie Kuhn, the former commissioner of baseball, called his dad a mafioso. And here's a guy that won 5 NFL championships. And he said that anytime the Rays come up for sale, he has zero interest in buying into anything with Major League Baseball. He was like, I have no interest in this whatsoever. And they called him a mafioso. And he told the story of Charles Haley basically peeing on George Seifert car. It was pretty compelling. I mean, I couldn't believe what I was listening to when he was talking about how Major League Baseball took a giant shit on his family. He goes, I have no interest in buying it. Truly one of the greatest owners in the history of the National Football League and in the history of the league was Edward J. DeBartolo. I mean, just an absolutely sensational owner. Outside of Bob Kraft, hey, for the record, watch this. For the record, DeBartolo is the second greatest owner in NFL history. He is. Bob Kraft is number one. DeBartolo's number two. He's got 5 Super Bowls. Okay? 5 Super Bowls. And nobody in the huddle outside of Jerry Rice was a first rounder. Think about that. They won those Super Bowls with non-first round draft choices. You guys got a boatload of first round picks and high draft picks. That 49er team was built with great drafting. 3, 4, 5, and 6 rounds. That's how that team won 5 Super Bowls. And they did that in a 12-year span. So for the Eagles to have an opportunity to be, and what is, Laurie owns the team for 30 years, right? All right. I mean, for Laurie's owned the team for 30, what are we going on now? 34 years, 32 years, something like that. Got a long way to go before he's going to be Mr. DeBartolo. Guys won 5 Super Bowls. Okay. They also won with no salary cap and players stayed together. Well, that means you had to be a guy who was able to pick the right players, don't you think? And I agree with that. I think it's harder to build a Super Bowl. It's harder today to build. It's not harder today to build a Super Bowl champion. It's harder to keep it together. The Birds develop picks? Like who? On defense. Who have you developed in the last 5 years that has won a second contract? Who? Who have you drafted that's on their second deal? Dak's going to win the East? Bro, you got to worry about winning 8 games first. Cowboys have to worry about 8 games. Hey, by the way, Texas boy, Stephen Jones next Tuesday. I said on defense, dude, try to stay with me. There's nobody. Let's see where that goes. I think it's going to change. I do. I think it's going to change. It'd be like Dak is back. Cowboys haven't been back since Jimmy Johnson. How the fuck is Dak back? He's not wrong. Hey, Texas boy, he's not wrong. How are you back? You got to win a playoff game before you can talk about winning this. You got to have a 500 record before you can talk about being back. Dak is back from what? Mediocrity? Dude, Dak Prescott is a fine ball player. He has completely overachieved. But at the end of the day, Texas boy, Dak ain't shit, man. You know what he is. Okay, well, let me ask you this. What are you paying $60 million for? You want to hear something even more? I'm talking about taking back the NFC East, y'all dumbasses. Okay. Bro, you got to worry about the Giants. Here, you want to hear something? Hey, senor, this is going to be a good one for you. The 23rd ranked passing efficiency quarterback in the NFL a year ago won the Super Bowl MVP. And your guy won $60 million lottery ticket. I mean, Jalen Hurts was in the bottom 10 in passing efficiency last year. He was 23rd. He was 23rd. And he won the Super Bowl MVP. And your guy won the lottery. How you doing? Imagine talking about the playoffs before the division game. You have to win one or be in two to even make the playoffs. Y'all, dude, what are you fucking talking about? Here's, let me tell you why Xander Krauss can get away with the bullshit that he says on my program. He won the Super Bowl. Plain and simple. That's right. Until September 4th and that kickoff where it starts anew, you can't fight it. They won the Super Bowl. And what are the, hey, let's do this. Texas guy. What do you think the Dallas Cowboys are going to do this year in the NFL? What do you think they're going to do? What do you think they do this year in the NFL? What do you think they do? How many? Hey, anybody? What do you think the Cowboys do? Here's Steven. 8-9. That's where I got them. I think the Cowboys are 8-9. Okay? Not me. I don't believe that at all. I don't believe they'll win a playoff game. Why are you talking about playoffs? You don't even know who's going. I can tell you this. I know you ain't going. So wait a minute. Are you under the assumption that the Philadelphia Eagles are in the same room that you're in because it's the start of the season and nobody knows who's going? So you think the Eagles are going to fall from a 18-win team to what? A 9-win team and they're not going and you're not sure? I can guarantee you this. I'm pretty sure that the Eagles are going to make the playoffs. Even if the entire, get this, even if Barkley gets hurt, they're still going to the playoffs. You? I don't know. 9-8? Okay, 9-8, 8-9, sure. Seniors get 5-12. I don't think that bad. But I do think here 7-10 could be. Funny, Texas boy, I don't see anybody in here going and trying to give you a. How about this? I bet you if I asked everybody about Washington, they're going to say between 10 and 12 wins. You should. 5-11-1. Who they tying? You? I don't believe that. Okay? Dak won 12 games, 3 years straight before he went down. Come on. Okay. Well, those teams were better. Those teams were better in the O-line, and you were better on defense. So let me ask, hey, folks, how many people think that Dak's roster right now is better than the team was 2 years ago, the Cowboys? I don't. Here's who I would compare to. I'll tell you. What were you ranked in total defense last year? Cowboys were 28. Hoss, I don't know where you're going with this. Here's who I compared the Dallas Cowboys to. Let me go here. Cowboys. By the way, guys, please hit the like button. Appreciate you guys very much. Here's who I compare the Cowboys to in the NFC. Are you better than the Giants? I think so. You better than Washington and Philly? No. Detroit? No. I don't believe you're better than Minnesota. You're not better than Green Bay. I don't believe you're better than Chicago. Are you better than the Bucs? No. Are you better than Atlanta? Probably. Carolina and the Saints? Yes. Rams? No. 49ers? No. Arizona? Probably. Seattle? I don't think so. Bro, there's like 7 teams you're better than in the NFL. And you think you're going to win 12 ball games? Where? Let me look at Dallas' schedule. I haven't seen it in a bit. Here's their schedule. You're not beating Philly. You're beating New here. And I'm going by rosters. Not by who I think has, well, in this week 4, you don't know that because you don't know who's injured. So I'm basically going to go by, you're not better than the Bears. How are you better than the Bears? You're not beating Philly, L. You're beating New York. You have a better roster. You're not better than Chicago. That's an L. You're not better than Green Bay, roster-wise. You're better than the Jets. You're better than Carolina, who I think is going to be improved. You're not better than Washington. You're clearly not better than Denver. You're better than Arizona. So you got a better roster of the 9 games. You got 4 you're better than. Vegas, you're better. Okay? Philly, you're going to get destroyed. Kansas City, you're not better. Detroit, you're not better. Minnesota, you're not better. The Chargers, you're not better. Washington, you're not better. Bro, you're a 6-11 football team. If you win 6 ball games, I'll be shocked. When's the last time? When does the last time that shit mattered? 1988. When's that shit matter? 8 and 9? If Dak plays out of his mind and other teams have injuries? I mean, I don't know where you're coming from with that. I mean, they're not adding players to the roster. The NFC East are going to beat each other up. The NFC East here, I don't play there, man. I don't think there's good teams in the NFC. I don't think there's good teams in the NFC. How many good teams do I think are in the NFC? Philly, Washington, Detroit, Green Bay, Tampa, the Rams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many are in the AFC? Buffalo, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, I think is going to be good. Houston, Chargers, KC, and Denver. That West may be a great division this year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's kind of balanced. It's kind of balanced. So, yeah, but I think there's probably 7 good teams. 49ers, you can add them too, yes. Probably 8 or 7 maybe. Pour that one there. Absolutely. Yeah, but what else do they have? I mean, that's why I'm saying you start Jackson. You start the kid Dart. Because I'm not starting Russell Wilson. Here, look at this. It doesn't matter what you say. The Bears are good. Have nothing to back it up. what you're talking about. Sure, I do. They made moves. You made dick moves. Easy. What was your biggest acquisition? Dante Fowler? They signed the first team All-Pro guard. They drafted exceptionally well. They've added players inside the offensive line. You've added nothing. Simple. I have nothing to back it up. Very simple. They have a better roster than you. Lazy Smith sucks out loud. He's the next coming of Danny Noonan, who you drafted in the first round, who sucked too. This guy's terrible. He's a flop. He's a bust. And you were telling me that he was the next Reggie White. That's what Steven and Jerry were saying. He's not very good. No, I don't think Green Bay moves me either. Sills, the Cowboys were 7-9 without Dak. Now you're saying he can't get to 9 wins. Here's why. It's not that. This is not a Dak issue. Texas boy, this is not a Dak issue. They need to do the things that they do in Philly by putting more players around. Hey, Texas, if Dak Prescott had that talent in Philadelphia, he'd win a Super Bowl. You know why? He would be turning around and handing it off to Saquon Barkley. They would take the high percentage turnovers away, but I don't know they'd have the running game if Dak played in that offense, because Dak's not a very mobile guy. So I don't know if they would be as successful running the ball with him as the quarterback there. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I'm not. Okay? My first time catching you guys live. What's up, Big Sills? Just showing love and talking some football. AAZ, thank you for coming aboard. We're going to see a lot more of this. People coming aboard here as the football season comes around the corner here. Thank you very much, AZ. I appreciate it. No, man. I mean, you guys are not adding any players to help Dak. Dak needs a running game. Dak needs a defense. Welcome aboard, AZ. We totally do. Thank you, my friend. I mean, so I don't see where Dallas has made any steps forward. All good, man. We appreciate you being here, man. That's really great. Thank you guys again for coming and setting up the super chats here. That's absolutely great. We appreciate it very much. By the way, we still can't figure out this gosh dang mic thing yet. So hopefully it's not too bad there. We appreciate it, but yeah, we got to still figure it out. Dallas is weak on both sides of the ball. They have no running game. And Angelo, they have no offensive or defensive lines. There's no question. All right. So Dak had a 43 QBR ranking, 29th last year. Yeah, that was before he got injured. He was not good when he was playing, and that's because of the lack of talent around him. Get this, you know what Cowboy fan thinks? Because you added George Pickens, you think all of a sudden your game is going to change. Here it is. I'm going to hook this guy up with some knowledge here. The Eagles had the 30th ranked passing attack. See this here? The Eagles had the 30th passing attack a year ago. There were only 2 teams that had a worse passing attack than the Eagles. And they killed teams. Why? Because they ran the ball. Hurts was 23rd in passer efficiency, 30th or 29th in passing offense, and they annihilated teams. What does a passing attack have anything to do with winning a Super Bowl. The Cowboys were good when Zeke still had some juice and Emmett was great. Don't you see that? That the Philadelphia Eagles win Super Bowls the way the Cowboys did in the 90s. Are you not following that? Guys, you're pulling the Cowboys on the Cowboys. You're pulling a cowboy on the Cowboys. You're winning football games the old cowboy way. Run the ball, play defense. That's how they won those 3 Super Bowls in 4 years. Dak didn't get injured. His numbers would have been okay. Great. That's not the point I'm making. His numbers would have been better throwing from behind. His empty calorie stats. The less Jalen threw the ball, the more they dominated. Senor, let's just give it to them. They would have been throwing from behind. When you're down 28-0 and you've got to throw every down, you're going to get 325 yards in this league, and they're going to give it to you. You're going to have 2 picks and 3 touchdowns, and you're going to throw for 350 yards and hang an L. You're going to hang an L, and you're going to have a loss in the loss column, and you're going to have a shitload of numbers, and you're going to throw for 4,300 yards, and you're going to be 8-9. Okay, you had better. The less Hurts threw, the more they won and dominated. You're not getting it. You're not following along here with this. Philadelphia is the only team in the league that's built like the old Cowboys. Run the ball, play defense. Run the ball, play defense. Quarterback, be efficient. Don't turn it over. Get them on 3rd down. If it's 3rd and medium, make sure you run the slant play like you did with Michael Irvin. This is exactly the playbook that North Turner ran. You could see both of the quarterback stats. You're fighting a battle here. Listen, you're having a different conversation, Texas boy. Is Dak a better? You want it to go here. Is Dak a better passer? Yeah. And Jalen's a better quarterback. Your guy's a better passer. He's better from the pocket. Is he a better quarterback? No. One thing he doesn't do, Jalen Hurts doesn't do this. When he gets into postseason games, they're not turning the ball over. Because you know what he'll do? He'll turn around, he'll hand the ball off, and they have a running game. What they do is they don't believe you could stop the run. Why does Jalen have to throw? Corona, my friend. Because it's the Cowboys. That's why. And it's the first game of the year. That's why. Dak had 11 touchdowns and 8 interceptions in 8 games. I'm including the game he got hurt in. The Eagles are a smart team. If they play to their strength, they did not try to force anything a year ago. If Jalen doesn't hand it off, he runs it himself. Yes. Well, also, too, gatekeeper, him being on the field is why Barkley had 2,005 rushing yards. I said this the other day. By the way, here's the MVP candidate list. And I don't see Dak Prescott's name on here anywhere. So here's the list of names, according to Las Vegas and Atlantic City. Number 10 is Brock Purdy. Number 9 is Jordan Love. Number 10 is C.J. Stroud. Number 7 is Jalen Hurts. Number 6 is Justin Herbert. Number 5 is Jaden Daniels. Number 4 is Mahomes. Number 3 is Allen. Number 2 is Burrow. And number 1 is Lamar. Those are your 10 favorites to win the NFL's Most Valuable Player Award. The team makes Jalen Hurts good. He goes to a different team. He wouldn't last in the league. If Jalen Hurts goes to another team, would he have the same impact? No, he would not. If he went to Buffalo, Jacksonville, Cincinnati, no. But would he have the same impact that those quarterbacks are having right now in their places? Maybe. Here's what I'm saying. Before you start getting your panties in a bind, if Joe Burrow can't turn Cincinnati around, or Josh Allen can't turn Buffalo around, or Trevor Lawrence can't turn Jacksonville around, what would make you think Hurts could? It's about shitty organizations. Yeah, but Senor, what has Jacksonville ever done? That's my point. What has Jacksonville ever done? Outside of a few years, what have they ever done? I'm not sure what you're arguing. Nobody said Dak's not a good player. Your organization fails you. Right. Jalen's on the team. Let me ask you this. Did Emmitt Smith benefit from having one of the greatest O-lines of all time? I think he did. I think a lot of it had to do with Emmitt. When you're in a good organization and you're with a good coach and you're with a good team, it matters. And that's no rip on Jalen, just being in the right place at the right time. That's why when people go like this, well, Josh Allen hasn't won shit and Lamar hasn't won shit. Well, I think more so with Lamar, it is failing in the playoffs. He's failed. I think the other places, Cincinnati, Buffalo, and those places, I just don't think they're good organizations. Jacksonville, I don't think they're very good. I don't think they really know what they're doing. I think they kind of know what they're doing. Like Buffalo and Cincinnati are no different than what they were years ago. The only difference is they got 2 first-round draft choices that have changed the game for them. But they're not utilizing it enough. You put Sean McDermott up there. Why? You put Zach Taylor. Why is Zach Taylor and not Jim Harbaugh the head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals? Why would you put a better coach in there with him? I mean, what do you think you're doing? You're putting a lesser guy. Who the fuck is Zach Taylor? So what has Vic proved to the league about his zone scheme? It's a great question. What do you think Vic has proved to his about? By the way, he's not the inventor of the zone scheme because it's a Tampa 2 style. It's more of a Tony Dungy defense that he's adapted. Because if you know what the linebackers were when Dungy had the Tampa 2 in Tampa and in Indianapolis, he always had phenomenal linebacker play. That's not his scheme. The too high safety is an umbrella cover 2, and it's a Tampa 2. It's just named differently. What's he proved? You can change players out, keep the scheme, and because of free agency, you can pretty much, if you're looking for the right type of player that can play a zone defense and able to play inside that scheme like that, you're going to be able to withstand free agency movement. That defense, you know what do you think the hardest defense is to keep intact? What would you think? And why you don't see a lot of them anymore? Abe, okay? Abe says 4-man pressure matters. Well, how many teams can give you 4-man pressure? Not many. Because a lot of people don't have 4 men up front that can control the football game. Okay? What's the one thing? The 4-3 defense is impossible to stay intact. That means you have to have 4 front and 3 backers, and you have to have 2 corners and 2 safeties that can play, right? Having 4 defensive linemen, do you understand the reason why you don't see a lot of defensive line? I'll tell you something that the Eagles have done that's absolutely brilliant. They really do their homework. You know what they're saying? Today's NFL, what's the one unit that they don't keep intact? Even them. They don't keep their front 4 intact. But they'll keep that O-line intact. All across the league. And get this. Look at what New York has done. Thibodeau, Abdul Carter, Dexter Lawrence, and Brian Burns. Well, what else do they have? Nothing. Nothing on defense. It's a really good front. Well, a lot of talented guys. But they kept the front intact and built the front. And they did that for one reason, Philly. They did not build the secondary because the quarterback in the division doesn't throw the ball. Do you see how New York is building their team? They feel Jalen Hurts is going to be in Philadelphia for quite a few years. They didn't build their secondary. They built their front 4. Why? Running the ball. The Eagles, they loaded up on defensive line. And they're going to plug and play at linebacker and secondary. Do you not see how New York is building their team? See how they're building it? Look at all around the league. Everybody's building in the secondary. Corners, safeties, linebackers. In New York, their attitude is, we got to stop Philly's run game. Because that offensive line is a dominant tool they have. You're not going to beat Philadelphia building your secondary. This is correct. That's why they've changed, actually. And Joe Schoen is actually showing some signs of being a general manager here. You know, the first thing you do is you're not drafting to try to beat the 49ers. You're drafting to try to beat your division and win it. Dual threat. Love it. Hey, bro, I'm going to be posting the Ed DeBartolo interview that I did. He talked about your boy Walsh. And he talked about all the things. So, again, by the way, he's going to make an appearance, I think in 2 weeks. He's up in Montana right now, Mr. DeBartolo, the owner of 5 Super Bowls. I think he's the second greatest owner. Personally, he's my favorite owner in the history of the NFL because of what he built with San Francisco. They were so freaking good. It's just a phenomenal organization in what they were able to do. All those championships and all those championship games. So I'll be posting that. You can go over to X And you could see that. Yeah. Here's always a great conversation. Philadelphia, Dak and Romo only won 2 playoff and wild card games. Meanwhile, Jalen Hurts already has been in 2 Super Bowls, winning 1. Well, here's the thing about Dak and Romo. Romo's an undrafted free agent. Dak was a 4th rounder. Those 2 players you mentioned, Philadelphia, have severely overachieved. Okay? They weren't expected to win playoff games. They weren't drafted to win playoff games. That's why they had to build teams around those guys more and better. They had to build better teams around them. They weren't able to do it. Troy Aikman could not win in today's NFL with the way the Cowboys run the team. He would not win because Jimmy built it by running the football. He knew running the football and having a lights-out defense was going to be the difference. Bond and Jacoby were the only LBs playing. They had a good year a year ago during the regular season until Jacoby got hurt. Dad did, yes, he did in that Green Bay game. I agree. That was probably their best football team. When Dez was not given that catch up at Lambeau, that was probably their best football team. I think that was a divisional game, if I'm not mistaken. Sills, when are you getting rains? I'm working diligently, man. You know me, Cosmo. You know, they got that event coming up tomorrow. So I don't know. He said that they called him. See, here's the thing with wrestlers. They change the card and they change the show all the time on these guys. So trying to get those guys on, like Goldberg, he promised me, you know what? That's a good one. I should try to get Goldberg on next week, especially if he wins the title. We should get Bill back on again. So they always changing the card. So we're going to get him on. They still have Hurts running the ball. Makes a big, absolutely they do. No question about it. Okay? Except for the 125 million people that watch it yearly. I know. I think Bill's going to win too. They did get jobbed. Isn't that crazy? The only division in pro football that has won a Super Bowl with every team is the East. Sills, doesn't matter where you're drafted. If they make you the highest paid, now there is something to this. Okay? There is something to that. Okay? Yes. Better watch Debo crying. Hey, I listen, I think Debo's going to be a good number 2. I think some of you think he's going to take a number 2, but I think he's going to be a good number 2 in Washington. Now they got to get Terry McLaurin inked down. I do believe they've got to get McLaurin. Guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. We appreciate you guys a lot. Eagles have 2 running backs. Hard to account for both. Well, I'll tell you too, Angelo, what made the 24 season even better was the first time that the best running back in the backfield wasn't the quarterback. Okay? Yeah, I do. I think since he's the second best running back, he's going to be able to have more option in the RPO coming up this season. I think you're going to see more of that. I do. Yeah, by the way, that new Superman, I don't know. They're calling his ass an immigrant. I don't know. I mean, Then they got a flying dog and all that. I saw some of the promos when I took a time out. I saw the promos on the flying dog. That's like flying. Can you see little Stevie flying around with a cape? My little Stevie flying around. I'm going to get him a Superman cape. No, wait a minute. I better not suggest that because my wife will get him a uniform. She's already pumped his heart once. That's a different story. I won't go into it. Yeah, we won't go there. All right. Hey, my friends, don't forget to check out my great friends at Morgan & Morgan, the #1 injury law firm in all of America with over $20 billion recovered. The attorneys, thousands of them from coast to coast, is what makes them #1. If you're ever injured in an Uber, if you're injured by some insurance company taking advantage of you and not giving you proper restitution, when it comes to like an insurance company, I told you, here in Pennsylvania, an insurance company initially offered $650,000. They ended up getting $30 million in recovery. Or a family down in Florida was offered $350,000. They ended up getting $12 million. And Morgan & Morgan said, no way. They went in and made it happen. Go to forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sales sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Your financial future is on the line. Are you ready for what's next? At Leone & Company Wealth Management, we help young professionals, business owners, and pre-retirees navigate the complexities of building and protecting wealth. For young professionals, we'll help you grow your wealth, plan for your future, and make the most of your hard-earned dollars. For business owners, we provide strategies to protect your company, manage risks, and create a lasting legacy for both your business and personal wealth. For pre-retirees, we'll design a plan to secure your retirement, ensuring you can live comfortably and confidently in your next chapter. Whether you're just starting out, managing a thriving business, or preparing for retirement, we're here to help you take control of your financial future. The first consultation is on us. Get the advice you need without the cost. Let's make your financial vision a reality. Take the next step. Scan the QR code to schedule your free consultation today. And of course, go Birds.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong as the #1 health insurer in the region. No IBX is always looking out for you.
EAGLES, Eagles.
Guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button here. Jalen Hurts is such great content. He really is. I can't think. What quarterback is now the most scrutinized quarterback in pro football? I think this is a merit badge. Michael Jordan and LeBron James are the most scrutinized players in NBA history. I think that's a good thing. When you're talked about like that, look at Trump. Trump's the most scrutinized president in the history of our country. I think that's a good thing. You're constantly in conversation, which means you're constantly relevant. You're relevant. And Hurts, this is how Hurts can become the face of the league. You know how he can become the face of the league? Constantly talking about him. Get this. People say this, Sills. The conversation on the quarterback. That's how you become relevant. You talk about Trump every single day. Okay? Get this. Well, that's half the country's view. Not all the country's view. And you're talking about them. You missed the point. This is exactly what I'm talking about here. See John Secunda? You know what he is? As we call in wrestling terms, he's a mark. Well, Trump's a racist and he's a scumbag. No one's talking and debating that with you. They're talking about the fact that the guy is talked about all the time. You miss my point all the time. A lot of people, my family members, miss the point. I don't give a shit about that stuff. I care you're talking about somebody. That's what relevancy means to me. And that's what I'm talking about with Hurts. You keep talking about the guy all the time. Here, get this. You want to talk about his politics too? Sure. Not going to the White House? Okay. Winning the Super Bowl MVP? Okay. Going to the Met Gala? Okay. Having tea with Oprah? Okay. That is all good for the image. Okay. Still talk about him. Networks survived because of Donald Trump. News Talk Radio and News Talk itself. What are you going to do without him? Cover guys like Sleepy Joe? Boring people? Good luck. I can't wait. I can't wait when Trump's not president. Not for what you think, because that means people will start coming back to sports talk. Trump's changed the entire landscape of news talk because half hate him, half like him. Okay? See this right here? You know what I got? Big Sills has this. HCS. Hurts Content Syndrome. Let's get the disease right. Hurts Content Syndrome. That's what I got. Not derangement. See? He's another mark. Hurts Content Syndrome. That's what I have. For sure. You bet. I don't give a shit. No politics, please? Promise. Again, I'm not talking politics. You're missing it. I'm talking relevancy. Being relevant. Unlike the people like cross-dressing broad who aren't. Oh, wait, I just did it. I gave him 2 seconds of my life. I wish I could have it back. So never trust someone that uses straws. Yeah. Hey, you know what? I got a couple friends in Miami that would agree with that also. Okay? Oh, you are what? You afraid of Big Bad Xander now? Oh, I like that, man. We want politics. No, I do not. No, thank you. The Eagles are named. Yeah. Hey, man, all good. You guys, man, make sure you have a great weekend. Okay? Yeah, look at you. Look at him. He's coming off the top rope on you because you pissed him off on his straw. You see that? You pissed him off on his straw. All right. Guy better bring his book Monday. That's all I'm saying. We're going to have some of those. Don't forget, make sure you don't miss 3:30 on Monday. Make sure you don't miss Birds 365 as well. We get this tomorrow. The Chargers are reporting to training camp, which is crazy. So all teams will start reporting next week. God bless. Have a great weekend. We will see you Monday going 2 to 6, and we'll see you on the flip side.